Good evening, race fans. Welcome in to a very scary night here on iRacing live on VirtualRacing.Network. This is as scary as it gets. It's practically a full moon, and it's almost Halloween night, and we're at one of the scariest tracks on the NASCAR schedule. Yes, it's the paperclip, Martinsville Speedway. Tonight, it's the NORA Cup Series penultimate round. We'll be doing 78 laps in the first stage, 156 in the second, and 300 laps overall. If you're not scared yet, just wait. It's going to be a lot of beating and banging and scary action on the track. And I am, though, proud to be able to say that I am back joined again tonight by legendary sim racer and team owner in the NORA Cup Series, Christian Snyder, and also racer in the NORA Series, and you'll all know his name. It's Chad Engel joining us here in the booth. And Christian, it's the paperclip. What can we expect here at Martinsville Speedway for the NORA Cup Series?
I think mainly what we can expect is a lot of bumpers being bent here tonight. It's one of those tracks where you gotta push to pass. It's very difficult to pass here. A lot of guys will be trying to downshift to make some passes, but that's still hard. So the best way is just use that chrome horn, move them up out of the groove, and get by them. So we're going to see a lot of tempers here tonight, especially with it being a cutoff race. So I'm excited for tonight.
It should be really exciting. And Chad, of course, we would love to be seeing you out there tonight, but it's so great to have you here in the booth as well. And we got some surprises in store for everybody tonight here as we get set for this playoff action, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be quite an interesting race.
I mean, interesting is one way to put it.
That's a word for it all season, man. It's been an interesting season, and now that it's actually a full moon, I'm terrified.
Certainly, I'm terrified as well. Here's some terrifying new paint schemes, and it seems to be working a charm for Josh Conover, who just put in the fastest time here in qualifying. And let's see here. Tom Senchek for Late Apex Racing. He's one of those drivers who needs the points to get in to Phoenix coming up next week. So he's going to be fighting hard, and he has set the second fastest time thus far. Here's Everett Couts out there. He's just finished up his qualifying effort. Blade Timmons as well. Nick Geilis for Nightmare Motorsports. Well, Nightmare, if they ever had a night, it would be next to Halloween night. He should be feeling it out there. Maybe he'll be in the winner's circle tonight after all this. Jacob Gladelich for JRC Sim Team, putting in his qualifying effort at the moment. He's finishing up. And
oh, sorry, Trevor, I didn't mean to cut you off, but we're going to see a lot of that tonight. I don't know if you noticed, but when Jacob was going into 3 and 4, he locked up the left front.
Yeah, a lot of lockups. I was watching in practice. It just seemed like these cars were anything but easy to deal with. I saw Matthew George, seemingly it looked perfect going through the corner, and then just on exit, thing twitched to the right and sent him around in a 360. So it's just, it's going to be a handful for these drivers, certainly. Timmy Harper put it in second fastest lap here tonight. And Ronnie Norman right now about to head out there and finish. Actually, he's just finishing his qualifying effort right now. Ronnie with a good lap here so far. Putting him, actually, take it back. That first lap did not count.
Might have scraped the wall, possibly on exit. That'll sometimes bite you.
The old
Let's see if he gets
0X.
a lap time here.
Oh, 13th
Yeah,
fastest.
13th quickest.
I tell you, we saw... I know, going to be a little difficult here at Martinsville to start from 13th. We saw Ronnie and Timmy in a great race. We also got Ryan Bird out there. It's several of our drivers from the Icon Cup Series race that was held last night at Dover. What a disappointing night overall. It's just so sad to see Ronnie Norman finish second in that race last night, have a chance at getting into Phoenix and moving on with the playoffs, but sadly he got second and not able to finish up. However, Timmy Harper was successful, and he will move on in the Icon Cup Series to the playoffs. Here tonight, Timmy racing for owner's points and Ronnie Norman in those playoffs, and we'll be taking a look here at the points momentarily and catching you up with where everyone is at as soon as we finish up qualifying. But Couts finishes up his qualifying, good enough for 5th fastest. And there you see that, Chad, exactly what you're talking about, just lighting off that rear.
Yeah, way too much throttle on exit there. You got to be real careful, and especially with shifting. If you shift a little bit too early, that's going to spin the tires a little bit extra, and that's why you're seeing these guys get around. And to touch on what Chad said earlier about the braking, these adjustments that you got to make for the brakes, the front MC, the rear MC, the brake bias, you got to nail it in order to run this track so well.
Well, certainly adjusting for the track is one of those things that takes a lot of finesse out there. And here we go. We are all set to go over the points for tonight, and then we'll be getting to the starting grid here for the NORA Cup Series. This is how it is after 35 races, round of 8. We've just got the finale coming up next week, and Vincent Arthur sitting atop those points. He's in for Phoenix. Dustin Kleba, 2 wins in a row. He has been the whole show here in this chase stage. He's been able to, this round of the chase, he's been able to clean up. Ronnie Norman, pretty solid there in that 3rd spot. It would take a miracle to knock him out. Ryan Bird, though, not quite locked in. His teammate Tom Senchek, we went over this last week, could knock him out. Matthew George with an outside chance. He's going to need a lot of points and some real unfortunate luck from Bird and Senchek to get knocked out there. Unfortunately, Cody Height is a little bit too far back, and I think Brady Motes as well, but they still have a lot to play for here tonight. So we'll be watching these points and, of course, catch you up on the owners' points as well. Just getting rolling here on the grid. KPR Motorsports still at the top. JRC Sim Team getting into 5th place, so they may have a shot to potentially get into that Final 4. And let's go ahead and breeze through this qualifying order. Josh Conover on pole position. Starting alongside him will be Timmy Harper. 2nd row, Tom Senchek and Ryan Bird. 3rd row, Everett Couts and Blade Timmons. 4th, Cody Height, Adam Kulikowski. Matthew George will be starting next to Jake Christenberry. Jacob Malone will be next to Justin Moody. And Ronnie Norman and Cameron Thompson on that next row. 15th will be Jacob Gladelich next to Zach Hollinger. And last but not least will be Nick Geilis for Nightmare Motorsports. So all those drivers, of course, in yellow tonight, the ones that are potentially having that chance to get in to Phoenix. We'll be keeping our eye especially on Ryan Bird and Tom Senchek, and of course they are starting 3rd and 4th here tonight.
Tell you what, Josh Conover getting the pole here, no surprise. For the past 4 seasons, he's been lights out at Martinsville. Expect him to be the favorite here tonight.
Well, Josh Conover, he's got that cool Halloween paint scheme. He's going to lead us into turn number 1, and strong start there from Tim Harper on the outside. Everybody's still sticking in pretty good, as you can see throughout the field. A little bit movement further back. Ronnie Norman trying to move forward. There is Tom Senchek and Ryan Bird still racing side by side down the front straightaway as we complete that first lap.
Yeah, a little bit surprised to see side by side still here between Bird and Senchek. They got to get this sorted out. The outside can work for a couple laps, but then after a while, the inside is going to be the place to be. You can see it looks like Senchek going to tuck in there behind Bird. But the more rubber that gets put down on the bottom later in this race, you're going to see guys want to venture up a little bit in the corners and run that middle lane.
It'll be interesting to see how this track changes and whether it's going to fare any different than the official races were this week. And a little tight racing there between Malone and Cody Height. But hey, Christian, This is one of those tracks where you've just got to take any open opportunity. There's just not so much room to pass here.
Yeah, it really is. You got to try to get as much as you can into the corner and, not get the guy in front of you around. But if that guy in front of you slips up just a little bit, you got to pounce. Like, you'll see Malone here. He's trying to get a run on Cody Height. He's going to look to the outside here, possibly. Kind of overshot the corner. Now Matthew George might make a move here on the front stretch. Oh, you see, Chad, you called it. He locked up the brakes going into that corner.
Yeah, big time. And we got to watch out because you can give drivers an inch and they're going to try to take a mile.
A crash.
We've got
Who
Couts.
was that?
It looked like Couts.
That will bring out the yellow just as we were talking about it. Christian, I think we're ready to dive into replay mode. So
hey, it's what I'm best at here. Let's get it.
Here it is.
It looked like Harper had an issue.
Harper with a big issue.
Oh, 4 wide. Ooh. Yeah, that's not going to work.
And then Couch just kind of loses it on
Couch just
his own.
lost it on its own, yeah.
Wow. I mean, they were 4 wide, so, I mean, Couch was probably driving super aggressive to try to stay in front of that and just looped it.
Well,
that was a good move there by Blade Timmons to go from the top the whole way to the bottom. But let's see what happened to Harper here, because he's in front of Bird, and we'll see him have an issue. There he goes. He slides up the track, gets loose.
Ooh. That was a great save.
Really was. And yeah, he got over that rubber and kind of just lost control there, got on the throttle a little bit too early. Blade Timmons gave him a little door there, but he's going to pick up 2 positions, Blade is, in that pass.
Well, unfortunate stuff for Couts and for Timmy Harper, and as a result, we're already under our first caution, but I'd like to look over onto YouTube and say, hey, thank you so much for joining us over here live as we get into this wonderful Martinsville race. Just like the real life series, you got the short tracks, you got the intermediate tracks, you got the long tracks. Here tonight is one of the shortest on the circuit. And we appreciate you joining us because it's going to be a lot of fun here, a lot of beating and banging. Chad Engel, though, I believe we've got a chance to do a little bit of trivia with these folks. So we don't have a ton of people joining us for the live, but why not? Let's give it a shot. For those of you out there watching, feel free to chime in. You've got whoever chimes in the first into the chat room. We're going to keep points. So this is Chad Engel has got the trivia for you. Go for it.
All right. New segment, Yellow Flag Trivia. First question. Who is the youngest driver to win a NASCAR Cup Series race?
Youngest driver to win a NASCAR Cup Series race. I think I know the answer to that one.
I think I do, too.
Once again, this could be a little dated, so I don't know if I should say the answer right away or not.
No, we'll give some time, and next caution we'll give the answer here.
If nobody posts it, then we'll definitely give out the answer on the next caution. But we're about to come back to green here. Couldn't see. Are the lights off? I think the lights are off, right?
Yep, lights are off on the pace car.
All right.
Or truck, I should say.
Pace truck.
Hopefully we don't have to break out the backup Silverado tonight.
I saw that in real life. The Camaro broke down. That was interesting.
So they said due to the rubber buildup on the tires, it actually pulled the wiring harness off the car.
That's insane. We are back under green. Oh, big trouble there. I think that was Senchek spinning the tires.
It indeed is Senchek, and he has drifted back several positions. I see several drivers still struggling with this. Ronnie Norman kind of blinking out there with his connection.
Yeah, and that's never good at Martinsville because you never know when the cars are going to break more than you expect. And oh, man, that's terrifying.
As a result, check this out. Blade Timmons now up 4 spots into second place. And Ryan Bird, Timmy Harper now racing it out for that 3rd spot. So tight racing and almost getting into each other. I'm hearing one going around, I believe. We've got several. Oh, this is a big wreck.
Pile up.
This is a big one. Ronnie Norman, Jake Christenberry, Adam Kulikowski, and Jacob Malone all tied up in this mess.
I'm willing to bet that the issue is that car that keeps disappearing and reappearing. He keeps getting beamed up by the aliens here in Martinsville. It's a full moon, so he's getting the treatment.
Well, in this shot, he's ahead. So let's see. Malone is ahead of that car that was disappearing. So let's see if we roll it forward here. He does disappear. Oh.
Malone tags Christenberry, and it just stacks them all up behind him.
Oh.
Oh, man. Do we see some tempers from that one?
That's
do you think it's too early, Chad, to have some tempers with this move? I mean, you can see Malone gets a good run. He's going to tuck underneath. Yeah, he overdrove that corner and gets into him.
Yeah, tempers are definitely going to start flaring now.
Well,
man.
Christian, these guys been racing with each other all season, and I don't know. In some cases,
it builds up over an entire year. You could have something happen at Daytona, and these drivers, they're going to hold on to that in their memory bank whenever it's a convenient time to return the favor. And the most common track to return favors is definitely Martinsville. So we might see a few favors returned here.
Ronnie Norman was doing an excellent job trying to avoid it, and then he just got tagged from the back.
Oh, look at Malone. He's high-centered. I think he had a tow. That's something we didn't bring up is the curb on the bottom of this track. It's very high, and if you get stuck up on there, you're going to have to tow and lose probably 3 to 4 laps. Adam Kulikowski in a new paint scheme. It's an old throwback. Love that car.
Throwing it back to Kyle Petty.
Yeah. It was one of my favorite cars growing up.
I always liked earlier on, what was it, late 90s, early 2000s when Petty ran the Hot Wheels car, the 44.
That's an iconic scheme. All right, so I think we got time. What's the answer from our last trivia question there, Chad? I think I know it.
So, like I said, this could possibly be dated, but the answer is Joey Logano.
That's what I thought. Trevor, was that what you were thinking, or?
I was actually thinking Casey Kane, but I'm probably way off.
Probably not way off. He was pretty young when he won. But yeah, Joey Logano won when he was 18.
Okay. Well, Joey Logano, and since nobody tried, nobody got it.
All right. Well,
I think I should get credit since I knew
You
it.
do get credit. I mean, we'll give you credit, Christian Snyder. You get 1 point.
Woo! We'll go on to the next question.
All right.
Which driver has the most NASCAR Xfinity Series wins?
I'm gonna lock my answer in. I got mine already.
We've got to keep track, so I'm gonna get a ability for us to keep track. Okay, Christian with 1 point.
Trevor with 0.
Thank you. We finally found something that you're better at me than, Christian.
Let's go.
Look at that paint scheme for Josh Conover. That is a beauty.
Yeah, Vincent not here to run it, so they slapped a 25 on that Pepsi machine, and he's doing a great job there.
Another great launch by Josh.
Oh yeah, he knows how to run Martinsville so well. I mean, he's lights out whenever he comes here, and he can launch better than anyone else. He can run the corner lower than anyone else. It's impressive, honestly. Oh, we got a big one. Oh, what was that, Collinger?
Oh, and is that
Senchek?
That is Tom Senchek, one of our championship contenders. He's around sideways. He's going to try to get it fully back righted again, and he does. There's no yellow flag that comes out.
That's insane.
That is absolutely incredible. We're going to back it up and take a look at this one. Here's Senchek. You can see they're slowing up in
Everett
front.
Everett Kautz got into the side of Hollinger and sends him around.
There's nowhere for Senchek to go. This is one more time
this is
on board.
This is one of those circumstances iRacing just doesn't call it. I mean, he's around in front of the entire field.
Oh. Yeah, exactly. iRacing, the least consistent set of trackside marshals that there are.
They're probably busy getting the famous Martinsville hot dog down there in the infield.
I know that's where we would be.
Oh yeah, for sure. Always wanted to try one. I want to go to Martinsville in real life.
Well, Vincent Arthur with a guess, KFB. Or does that mean something else?
We're not going to say exactly what it means, but that is a guess for Kyle Busch.
It is, yeah.
Oh, I got it.
The F is expletive.
Yes.
Friend. Kyle Friend Busch.
Yeah.
Kyle Friendly Busch.
Yes.
Well, some good side-by-side racing here with Everett Couts and Timmy Harper. This is for 5th place, and Harper...
dealing with some lap traffic.
Yep. Working on this lap traffic already on lap 27. Now side-by-side between Couts and Harper.
That was impressive. He rolled the bottom so well there through the corner, got right underneath Couts, and is going to drive right by. Moved Tim Harper to 5th.
In the meantime, Ronnie Norman taking the position away from Matthew George. These two, of course, involved in this playoff championship hunt right now in this round of 8. Soon to be down to the championship 4.
And just to update, Jacob Malone already out of this race. So we already lost our first driver.
Well, this is one of those tracks where if you don't need to be out there racing, you might just say, okay, it's not going my way, I'm going to park it. But then again, it's such a long race. I mean, we're just coming up to 10% of the way done. You could be a lap down here, 2 laps down, and still come back. We saw Tim Harper last night at Dover come back from 3 laps down to finish in the top 5. It's absolutely possible. Definitely don't need to quit, but at the same time, real life commitments always get there as well. Hey, how about Cody Height up into 3rd place, up 4 positions right now?
Yeah, Cody Height, he's doing what he needs to do in this, last race. He's in a must-win, so the only way he's making it to the Final 4 is if he wins this race.
Certainly, he's, as Blake Timmons is starting to close in right now on Josh Conover here at the front. Looks like Cody Height starting to slowly pull in these 2 drivers as well. Keep an eye on that battle, but in the meantime, Conover just barely hanging on to the position over a hard-charging Blake Timmons.
And Timmons has really came to life in the late part of this season once he started racing for JRC and Flatline. He got a win and I think a couple wins already this season. And he's been running top 5 consistently, so really good out there for Blake Timmons. I see in chat Brady Moats chiming in saying it's 7 drivers out there. He was unable to make it due to family matters, and you touched on it. Family comes first before racing sometimes, and it's unfortunate we aren't going to see him in the Final 4. He's definitely been a contender for that Final 4 this season, but when life happens, you got to take care of it.
Absolutely. One of those real life things. You know all about that, Chad. Of course, welcoming in your boy this year.
Yeah, definitely. I missed several races in the month of July. My son was born on the 3rd, and it's a great feeling being a dad.
Well, congratulations to you and to you both, and much merry continued success. And of course, for our own sake, we hope that now that all that's done and the kids flying on automatic, you'll be able to join us out here for a lot more racing for NORA.
Yeah, hopefully. next season they'll be able to be on track more.
Yeah, definitely hoping for that. It's going to be a fun season. I'm coming back next year. Chad's coming back next year full time. It's going to be a fun year.
That will be exciting stuff. In the meantime, we've got a great end to this season in store for us, and it begins here tonight. Ryan Bird right now racing with Cody Height just behind right now. As up in front, of course, you got that battle with Josh Conover and Blake Timmons. Both of those guys would love to close out this season with a win at least. Of course, the next week is going to be all about that championship 4, and I'm sure one of those 4 is going to be trying to get the win. But here tonight, it's 2 drivers on owners' points who are looking to possibly take the win. You see those brakes glowing there on Ryan Bird's machine. These cars are having to really work those brakes into both of these corners.
Yeah, I'm really surprised. It's the rear rotors that are glowing and not the fronts. Usually it's the fronts that are cherry red. Oh, there we go. There's a good shot.
Definitely.
Yeah, he's definitely got more rear brake bias in that car, though. You can see that the rears are a lot brighter. And that's typically so that you don't have front wheel lockup. But what happens is you're going to cook those rear tires the more that you put the brake bias toward the rear, because that's going to heat them up and that's going to cause them to wear a lot quicker. And that's why you're going to see, more than likely, everyone who's got the rear brake bias in is going to get loose in the long run, as we got contact there between Harper and Couts.
Big contact between these 2 drivers, both racing for owners' points. And side by side, they continue to go into the corner. Couts sends a little bit of fender into the side of the number 12.
Oh, Harper, he's not going to take that kindly. Oh, he tried going to the outside. He's going to blow the corner. He's going to lose 2 positions here to Norman and George.
Tim Harper.
He's not happy, I can tell you that. Oh, Couts missed the corner too now, and now Norman on the attack. Let's see if he tries it here in 1 and 2. He's going to stay tucked in for now. He peeked down there. He showed him that he was there.
Lots of racing.
Only 45 laps in, and tempers are already starting to flare.
I think as soon as the green flag dropped, my tempers would be flaring.
For a lot of people, just a lot of these racers, just the idea that we had to come to Martinsville.
Exactly.
To get some hot under the collar. But it's it's kind of a tense time. You got Halloween coming up tomorrow night. A lot of drivers maybe not happy with where they're at in the championship. The only guy that's really comfortable right now is Dustin Kleba and Vincent Arthur are sitting there knowing that they're going ahead into Phoenix. A lot of these drivers looking to get into Phoenix. Some owners' points and the owners' championship, driving some different drivers than necessarily the ones in the drivers' championship.
Well, you can see Vincent's having and enjoying his time. He's in chat here, just enjoying watching the race, because he's, sitting up on the couch, doesn't have to race, already locked in. And that's the greatest part about coming to Martinsville, is being able to be locked in so you don't have to be in this mess.
Well, Brady Moat saying he was trying to hire one of Christian's gnomes to run for me, but they turned me down. So,
one of Christian's gnomes.
Yeah. We have a great family of gnomes working for the team. They do a great job, but they are on my team, so that is the reason that they declined Brady on his offer.
Right, and of course Christian. The truth is that Christian holds a sole contract for every one of those gnomes, so that's why they can't go work at another team unless he allows them to. We've got a yellow flag. Send check again with a problem.
Oh. He's got heavy damage.
Yeah, the nose on that car is not supposed to look like that.
So was that someone's back bumper, or was that the wall that he hit? Let's find out here.
We shall here momentarily as we watch Centrek get it going again. Take a step back here, and looks he's racing side by side there with the number 2, Cameron Thompson. Well, in that shot, I can also hear
Oh.
somebody's engine expire. I'm not sure whose that was.
Probably Nick Gillis is sitting on pit road, possibly popped the engine. He's RCing, so.
Well,
Yeah, Cameron Thompson just overdrives the corner a little bit, hits that curb, shoots up into him, sends him around right in front of the leaders. Blade Timmons gets a little piece of this. I think Conover scooted by clean. Yeah, you can see he's off the pace, letting him by, and then just overcooks it, and boom.
And then a double whammy right there, tags him again.
Yeah, and that buckled his left front of the hood there, and you can see there's a little bit of damage there on the left rear. You can see the spoiler not attached to the car there. It's a little bit of a gap, which isn't going to hurt much here at Martinsville. Aerodynamics aren't very important, but definitely the radiator and the engine are very important here to get that launch off the corner.
well, very interestingly, what this has allowed is a number of these drivers to come down pit road. Cody Height, Josh Conover, Ryan Bird, and on back pretty much taking advantage, but Blade Timmons electing to stay out there on the same set of tires and try to hold on with what he's got. So interesting strategy here, split strategy for them. Now Adam Kulikowski currently shown in second position, but of course he is just outside on the pit strategy because he came in on lap number 15.
Yeah, I kind of like the call by Conover and the rest of the field pitting here, because you're going to have the stage break at lap 75, and you're going to be able to stay out for that stage break and just run on these tires clear to the end of stage 2 and then pit, and you should be good to the end after stage 2. Maybe one pit stop late if we get a late caution, but I definitely like this strategy call.
So, with that, Chad, do we want to move forward with the trivia?
Yeah, so Vincent Arthur got that point. It is Kyle Busch.
All right. Kyle Busch.
This one's a little bit of an easy one. We should all know this one. Who won the inaugural Cup Series race at Indianapolis Motor Speedway?
I know it. Got it.
Back in 1994.
Yep. You give me NASCAR trivia, I'm getting every single one right, you know? I'll hold my answer to myself until the next caution. I'm sure Vincent might know this one. That's a hint, too. Wink, wink.
Green flag is back out.
Green flag in the air once again here at Martinsville on lap number 67.
A little bit of a slow start there for
57.
Kulikowski. He's already dropping through the field. You got to have patience getting around him. These guys have to have patience. You see Matthew George already struggling there, almost washed up the track into Tim Harper. Everyone on the bottom is going to need to get around him on the top. That's how you're going to have to pass him here. George, I wouldn't go low. Oh, man. Well, we almost got into the back of him.
Harper on the high side. George sticking with that low line, or maybe you just can't get up to the high side. Check again into the wall.
Oh, that's going to cause a wreck.
Sends Kristen Berry up into the wall. What? Moody.
He got loose. Oh, man. That was a wild lap.
Oh. Gladelich gets... I don't even know where to begin with that, but Gladelich twitched to the side and then just shot into...
What that looked like is either a wheel hop situation where you get off the brake in order to stop the wheel hop situation, and then it'll go and shoot to the right, or he locked up the brakes and went to lift off the brakes and shot up the track. But you can see Josh Conover already trying to get the lead back after making those pit stops here. He's gonna be patient here and not be aggressive with one of his team drivers here. Oh, but he makes a mistake there. Conover was in the right position. He could have capitalized, but he was right on his bumper. Really good heads-up awareness to hit the brakes.
We have a caution.
For
Ronnie Norman. And it looks like Jacob Vladelich, and I'm not sure if Tom Senchek is moving. He is moving.
You know, one of the things we got to touch on is these guys can't get more than 2 caused cautions in this race. I believe it's 2 cautions. Maybe it's 3. But
short track rules, it's 2.
Yeah, so if you get 2 caused cautions, you get parked. So if Norman is given the cause for this, he's going to have a very long race ahead of him. So we'll have to see if he caused this or what happened. Yeah, he's going to get loose, and that's going to be a caused caution for Ronnie Norman. Oh,
poor Jacob just had nowhere to go. Ronnie was trying to get the car turned back around and had no idea Jacob was coming.
Yeah, and I think the reason Ronnie's sitting there for so long, stopped on the track, is I think he was trying to get his wheel back on into the car, because I think he may have ripped it off his desk at that point. I mean, he's safe in points, but he's still got to go out here and get some stage points and perform, and this is not what you want to see for Ronnie Norman. Especially the Ronnie Norman fan club, Stephen Dombrowski, probably sweating a little bit now.
Poor Jacob. It looks like he's got a broken toe link.
Yeah, that's for sure. A broken, it looks like a rear toe link. He was turning pretty hard right, and that car was still not going straight.
So we see Kristen Berry on pit lane, Justin Moody, Tom Senchek continuing to get service here on pit lane. All these drivers down at least 1 lap right now. Zach Hollinger in the pits, Tom Senchek, Jacob Vladelich, and it looks like Cameron Thompson has called it a night as well. And so there were just 14 drivers left. We'll see whether Vladelich decides to return to the track, but some possibly irreparable parts on that machine, so we'll find out here in the long run what happens. But not getting any more guesses on your question there, Chad. So
that'll be a point for me then. I'll give the answer, I think.
Okay.
Jeff Gordon.
I was going to guess Jeff Gordon as well.
Yep, you both.
I'll give that to you then, Trevor. I'll give that to you.
No, that's fine. That's fine. But just put you down for 2. If I get, how about on the next one that I feel like I can get, I'll go ahead and guess it. But that's about as easy as it's going to get. That's probably the only one that I would get. So, I'm not a Rhodes Scholar when it comes to NASCAR trivia, but okay.
Hey, you want me to make you feel old here? I wasn't even born when Jeff Gordon won Indianapolis.
Thanks. That's 2 in 1 commercial break. I appreciate it. 2 in 1 caution. Making me feel great here, Christian. Appreciate it, my friend.
I was 3 years old.
Oh man.
Yeah, I was in high school when that happened. So that should tell you something. All right. About to come back to green here at Martinsville Speedway. You know, this track has been around as long as NASCAR has. This is,
I actually have a little bit of a tidbit there. It's actually been around before NASCAR.
That's right, slightly longer than NASCAR. Yeah. But Blade Timmons still out in front, but for how long? And now you see Cody Height and Ryan Bird racing side by side behind for position. That's for 3rd place on the track. Height and Bird both in this playoff round. Height needs the win. Bird just trying to finish well and ahead of his teammate Tom Senchek.
Yeah, we got about 4 or 5 laps here to the end of the stage, I believe. Or no, we're
6 coming up 5 to go on the stage.
Yeah, that's what I thought there. So yeah, we got 5 to go now on the stage, and these guys are needing points. Are going to be Bird and Norman's outside of it, looking in. He's in 11th. He needs to get up there into the top 10 to get some points. But Bird looking really strong here. Going to get about 7 points if he's able to pass Cody Height. Still side by side. Oh, Conover with a little bit of a wiggle there in front of them.
Some hot and heavy racing here for third place. Couts looking for a way by from fifth.
Yeah, when the two cars in front of you are side by side, there's just nothing you can do. You just gotta wait until one of them is able to clear the other and follow that person. Yeah, there's just no move that he can make. He can't go to the outside, not enough grip up there. He can't go underneath Cody, so he's just patiently waiting for a mistake or someone to get by the other.
Cody's going to have to drive it in deep almost to Ryan's door in order to complete the move.
Oh, it looks like Bird got a good enough run off of turn 2 there, and he's going to clear him. What a pass on the outside.
Here we go.
Getting it done.
2 to go on the stage.
Oh, Conover giving the bumper to Blade up there for the lead.
Oh,
He gave him a little shot. This is actually, I believe, the white flag coming to the finish right here. They throw the caution on 75, so caution will come out here after they all cross the line. There they go. Once 10th crosses it, should be a caution, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh.
And I am wrong, I guess.
you're completely wrong, Christian.
They used to do it as you got to the lap, but now they're going to do completion of 75 maybe, or did they forget this is the stage?
Should be this lap. Oh, they're still racing pretty hard.
Yeah, I think we forgot that was stage. Unless they just called the last caution stage.
It's possible, and they just didn't tell us about it. It's actually 78. 78. Lap 78 is the stage.
Oh, it is 78. Oh my goodness, I thought it was 75. I'm so used to like the even type numbers, you know, like regular numbers, not these weird digits. But this is the last lap here. Connor's gonna get underneath them.
Connor's got a good run.
And that is the stage. You can see him back off there. So caution will come out here momentarily. There it is.
There it is.
And Bird got by Cody Height. He's going to get 7 points, so that's going to really help him against Senchek. I think that almost essentially locks him in.
Well, with
he
that,
should be 17 ahead.
It looks like, as you said, that's a fantastic stage for Bird. We'll have to do some calculating of points. But top spot going to Blade Timmons for the stage points, and then Josh Conover in second, Ryan Bird in third, Cody Height in fourth, and Everett Couts in fifth. Couts, is he choosing to stay out there? He is, while everyone else is pitting. Timmy Harper doing the same. So we got a little bit of a split strategy. We're going to take a break here on VirtualRacing.Network. We're going to recalibrate everything. We'll be right back here in just a moment. Stay tuned. And welcome back here on VirtualRacing.Network. A lot of these drivers coming in during this stage caution to take on tires and a fresh splash of fuel, but guy who finished a little bit further back in this stage, but last night managed to clinch his way into the final round of the Icon Cup Series playoffs. Timmy Harper now joins us here on VirtualRacing.Network for an interview. Hey, Timmy. Fantastic job, and then here tonight, it looks like you chose to stick around out there while everyone else pitted. What's that strategy?
Just being an honest guy, you know, just can kind of take a little more risk than some of these drivers championship guys. Yeah, no, glad we stuck with it last night. Got a little bit of luck on our side last night. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to talk last night, so I bought me a mic today on my way home from work, and I seemed to fix the problem, so I guess it was my actual headset the whole time.
Oh boy.
But no, just trying a little different strategy here tonight. I'm kind of already a little upset with a few people, but it'll be all right, and we'll get through the race and
Yeah,
try to help Cody out a little bit.
it's looking like a lot of beating and banging out there, and some guys getting in a little too deep into corners. Is this just Martinsville racing, or you think it's going to get any better as we go along?
Yeah, it's just Martinsville. It's I don't think it's gonna get any better. If not, it'll get worse. It's just Martinsville. That's what happens when you come here. Everybody throws dive bombs and tries to get a little advantage. So,
Well, we'll let you get back at it. Good luck to you. Hopefully we'll be chatting with you at the end of this race, my friend.
appreciate it.
So that is Timmy Harper, who joins us here after finishing in the top 5 for the stage, choosing to stay out there. Christian, think this is a good move or a bad move to stick out there, him and Everett Couts not coming in?
Man, I think it could be a good move. I mean, as long as he didn't push too hard the last time he was out there, I think it will be fine. But Timon's going to easily get around Couts here with fresh tires, I'm sure. He's going to try to make the outside lane work. He's been having the pace of the field, so I think he'll be able to clear him. Possibly Conover gets by him, but I mean, Harper's going to be in a better position than where he was when the pit stops happened. So either way, this is going to work out for him, and he's going to have an extra set of tires compared to these guys as well. There you go. Timmons to the lead.
Timmons to the lead, able to take over.
Oh,
and
Harper's going around off the bumper. Conover.
And the commentator's curse continues.
Womp, womp, womp. We need Vincent for that one. He's got that soundboard.
Wait a minute. No, we've got it here.
Oh, do we? There it is. Yep. Broadcast curse.
Definitely. Too bad for Timmy Harper getting taken out there, but we'll back it up and check this one out. Looks like Kristen Berry getting into him as well. So, taking a look.
It was off the bumper of Conover, but I don't know if Harper got loose and then Conover couldn't check up, but we'll take a look here, what happens between the two of them here. Looks like Harper... Oh, he just gets help.
So, now, it depends on how that gets classified, but if Conover ends up getting charged with that cause caution...
Yeah,
that could be a big blow to him because, again, he's in that owner's playoffs as well, so that's a big deal. Cody Height, Ronnie Norman, Zach Hollinger, all coming into the pits right now.
Yeah, Harper and Conover, friends off the track, enemies on the track. That's how NASCAR works, you know. Bubba Wallace and Ryan Blaney, really good friends in real life, and after the race, Bubba Wallace came over to Blaney and said, thanks for bumping me, and was mad at him, but then he also said, congrats on the win, though. That's kind of how those two are. They're like, hey, yeah, we're friends, but, you know, don't mess with me on the track.
Well, certainly, it's been an interesting night here at Martinsville Speedway. It's, Christian, I have to say, this is kind of what we expected. A lot of yellow flag laps, and we're probably going to get a lot more. But the great thing is the green flag racing, when it's good, or when it's going, it is good, and it has been very good tonight. A lot of close racing out here. Short track racing, it's what it's all about.
Oh, yeah.
It's almost like they should run these on...
vibe.
I mean, I feel like they should run this on Saturday night.
Oh, yeah.
It should be a Saturday
It definitely gives you that feel of, you know, short track Saturday night. You know, you go to your local track, you see these guys that run for like, you know, $1,000, and they, you know, they work on their car every single day of the week, and it gives that vibe whenever you race at a track like this, when everything matters so much, and you get tempers flaring all the time. You know, we see it at Bowman Gray is very famous for it. A lot of tempers flare at that track. Would be interesting to possibly see like an all-star race happen there at some point. It would be kind of fun to see.
Definitely would be. I love it when they mix it up and they try different tracks.
Oh, Timmons with a lane, a cone violation. He's going to have to go to the back of the field here.
what exactly is a cone violation?
He went to choose his lane and didn't do it in time or cross the line and will go to the rear of the field.
That is a massive blow for Timmons. Have to work his way completely through the field. And as a result, that's going to give the lead over to Couts with Ryan Bird on his inside. So this is a huge advantage for Bird now.
Yeah. Well, while we got the chance, I believe Chad is back. Chad, I don't know if you know this answer or can look it up, but I have a trivia question for our viewers.
Okay.
Who is the winningest driver at Martinsville in the Cup
Would
Series?
you believe I just looked that trivia question up? I literally have that in front of me right now.
Well, that's cheap.
I was going to try to ask that question. Does Chad know?
Oh,
I
Chad can
don't.
get a point.
Well,
Gonna have to take a guess as we're back under green here. And Everett Couts with a great restart on that outside lane there.
Yeah.
Bird into second.
monster jump by Couts. That was some phenomenal stuff. That's when you want to go back and circle that lap number and look at how he did that, because that was a phenomenal restart for him. Ryan Bird there slots into second place. You see a lot of movement still towards the back of the field. They get a little jumbled up here with Cody Height. Oh, we got one around. It's Hollinger. And you can see Conover in that one as well.
Yeah, and that was off the bumper of Adam Kulikowski, I believe, for Hollinger. And that 21 is gone around a couple times here tonight. Good-looking car. Jeff Burton, throwback to him.
Definitely. Solid paint scheme. Let's take a look at this one. I also see Ronnie Norman involved in this one as well. So
yeah, he tapped the door of Zach Hollinger as he came to a stop there.
Okay, now I know the answer because I looked it up.
oh,
He's out here cheating. But yeah, Kulikowski gets into him there. I think Hollinger checked up more than Kulikowski thought he would and just got into him. I would say that's more of a racing deal, honestly. It wasn't him dive bombing the corner or anything. It was Hollinger trying to avoid Matthew George. Whenever he taps Height right there, he checks up even more. So then Hollinger checks up, and Kulikowski didn't get the memo and sends him around.
And then Ronnie Norman with a little love tap right there.
Out here, Happy Gilmore, just tap it in. Oh, yeah, there. You could see that he had him locked up in front of him, and Kulikowski just couldn't slow down in time there. All right, so I'm not sure of the answer, honestly, at Martinsville. I have a guess for the most winningest driver at Martinsville, but you guys know the answer, so
yeah.
I'm gonna guess. Oh man, I don't even have a guess. Is it Jimmy Johnson?
It is not.
That is not correct.
Man, has to be like Richard Petty or something.
Well, does anyone... I guess I shouldn't have said that's not correct, but does anyone have a guess out there in YouTube land? Give them a chance here to guess our question.
Yeah, we'll give the answer next caution here, and give some time for chat to come up with one here. I really thought it would have been a Hendrick driver. Hendrick is probably the team that has won most here at Martinsville, I would probably say.
Certainly. Well, we're under caution here, and I think it's going to be Everett Couts who's going to lead us back to the green flag. Somehow Jake Christenberry is in second. Wasn't he just involved in an incident? I don't understand how that's possible.
Yeah, he was involved in an incident a little while ago, but he's already back up here. So yeah, good recovery there for Christenberry. You can see the damage on his left side there; it's a little crinkled.
Absolutely fantastic for him.
Interesting choice by Everett picking the bottom here, as we're going to get another lap here under caution.
Get one more. Now, this is the... I don't know about this note. We'll have to see this one.
Oh,
Harper
late on the change, and that's going to be a penalty for him, so he's going to have to let some people by. You can see that there's 3 white lines there. That middle white line is the choose cone. So if you're below it, that's inside. If you're above it, it's outside. And you can see he clearly crossed right over it at the line, so that is going to be a violation.
Well, about to come back to the green flag here. Couts and Kristen Berry on that front row. Bird and Conover on the second row. Height and Timmons on the third. Green flag in the air. And we are go again here at Martinsville.
It's an absolute phenomenal jump there. I beat you to it. Bird with a pretty good start there against Christenberry. He's still going to be there on his inside.
Yeah, huge restart for Bird.
We got one around. He's going to get moody after that.
We are back under yellow here. We'll take a look at the overhead.
Going to get help from Hollinger possibly? Let's see.
Well, if it is on Hollinger, that's going to be 2.
Yep, that'll be number 2 for Hollinger.
I've had that happen to me off of his bumper before.
I'm just saying,
not pleasant times.
We were talking about, do people store this information in their heads for the whole season, and that's a prime example. You do. You mark. You mark 3 seasons. You mark people. This is the thing about when you get into a league like this. You definitely have to make sure that you make friends before you make enemies. I mean, as somebody who's watched this many times over, you don't want to set it in people's minds that you're either A, dangerous, or B, not somebody that they want to work with. You want to make more friends than you do enemies. And you want to be consistent and, be somebody that they can count on running side by side with you, or if you're behind them, that they can trust that you're not going to take them out, all that kind of stuff. And accidents do happen for sure. But I've also seen a lot of drivers with sort of the erratic streak in them that don't make as many friends as they could, and it stays with the league. It stays with everybody who remembers it.
Yeah, well, Chad can actually back me up on this. Back in Season 1 and Season 2, I was that guy that was making enemies before I was making friends. I was super aggressive, super cocky and arrogant, and over the years I've changed, and I'm trying to regain that trust from everybody, but everyone sees me out there and they're like, oh, this guy again, here we go. So I'm still, after 3 years, I'm still trying to work back all the trust that I lost out there. And it's really tough whenever you start out that way. You got to work your way back and earn everyone's trust.
Yep, certainly. I have another friend who had to go through the same thing. Made some enemies. Was very self-assured, and he won. I mean, he was a winner. But same sort of thing. He kind of realized, hey, this isn't really who I am, and this isn't the path that I want to go down. I actually do like racing with all these people, and I like being their friend. I like running with them on the track, and so kind of had to work his way through it. And after several seasons, there are still those out there who publicly bash him in different areas, but I think
to me for a few years. Yeah,
he's won over some people, so I'm sure Christian. A lot of people think highly of you here in the league, and
yeah, broadcasting definitely helped it. They appreciate my my work up here, and then going out and winning Talladega, they were all congratulating me more than I thought would. So kind of earned that back. But a guy that doesn't make many enemies out there is the guy beside me here in the booth, Chad Engel. I don't think anybody dislikes him. I don't think he's made a single rival in this league. I could be wrong, though. Chad, am I wrong?
I don't know.
He's like, I got a couple people on my list. I don't know.
Oh, I definitely have a running list going, but another great jump by Everett.
Conover.
I think Conover, yeah. Conover tagging the wall there on that restart, and there's Christenberry on the inside. You know, we got more tagging in the wall. That's actually Matthew George smacking the wall.
I wonder if part of the reason is because the cloud cover has come in. And this track is completely shaded now. So these cars are going to grip a little bit more out of the corners. So they're going to, instead of getting loose, they're going to want to snap to the wall instead. Man, you see a little bit of sun here in 3 and 4.
These cars are such prima donnas. Just
3 wide.
3 wide.
No.
Man, is it going to work?
I was going to say,
who's back out of it?
I was going to say, who's going to be the first to back out of it?
Now Conover.
In the wall.
Conover's in the wall. We got another car in the wall behind him.
I think that's Couts. Yeah, he was up in the wall too. I think is he bringing it to pits? I saw someone. Yeah, Everett Couts to the pits. Maybe he has a black flag. He might have jumped the restart.
Oh my goodness. Well,
we've been saying he's been getting really good starts all night. He probably pushed it a little bit over the limit that time.
Well, that does open the door for Ryan Bird to fly on through. He is going to be able...
The bird puns. Oh, my goodness.
He's going to be able to lead the flock here on lap number 111 for the first time here tonight. Jake Christenberry. I don't know where the Christenberry fan club is, but this would be the night to root him on. I mean, he's got a great chance here.
Well, it's Hallows Eve. Family's probably busy, setting up decorations and getting those treats ready for tomorrow.
Watching out for the kids on mischief night.
Exactly. Used to TP houses back in the day, Wouldn't recommend doing it now.
Yeah, people got guns now.
Yeah. Not a good idea to go out and do that, especially egg them with TP, so, that's... It's never good.
Accidentally pull into the wrong driveway, they'll come up and shoot you, let alone egg their house, TP their house. My goodness.
It's crazy.
But Christenberry out there safe and sound in his sim rig.
He's slowly chipping away at this lead from Ryan Bird.
You can see he's running a little bit of a higher line than Bird is. He's actually going above that rubber strip that you see on the track, and he's not down at the curb. So he's using that rubber to get a little bit of a better turn mid-corner. That way he can get a better run off. See how he's going to diamond it. He drifts up a little bit and then comes back down to get a good run off the corner. So that's a really good line. They call that the Chase Elliott line here.
Well, he's got a fantastic shot of it here tonight. Ryan Bird doing a bang-up job right now that he's taken over. No surprise for Bird. I mean, this guy, he's won races. I mean, more cars behind. Smacking the wall. That looks like Cody Height, who this time it's his turn getting in the wall, and Conover almost gets into him. Ronnie Norman drifts up high. He doesn't get into the wall. Norman closes the door, and Norman now into that 4th spot. Side by side back here between.
Looked like Conover was in the wall again.
I tell you what, we're just going to have to get used to it. This is the new way. Just get in the wall and don't care. Aerodynamics not really a thing here in Martinsville.
No, absolutely not. It's all about that horsepower and getting the power down off the corners. You can hit the wall about 20, 50 times and you're still okay. Unless you break a toe link.
Yeah, certainly, as long as you see that 0x, that's all you're really concerned with. Christenberry about to be under attack here from Blade Timmons.
Which actually, now that I think about it, Chad, wasn't Everett Couts the one that broke a toe link earlier?
Believe so.
Or was it
no, that was Jacob Gladelich.
Yeah, Gladelich.
Gladelich was the one. Okay, yeah. So I thought it was Couts, but yeah. You can fix a toe link and come back out, but it takes about 3 or 4 laps to get it fixed.
I step away for a few minutes. And I see Centric is out. Gladelich is out.
Yeah, Senchek being out, that's gonna pretty much lock in Ryan Bird and Norman probably, unless Height and George, one of them wins. This has been a long season for Ronnie Norman. He's actually the regular season champion, and to see him in a position where he has to go out and perform well, it's just shocking. You would think he would have a smooth ride the entire, playoffs because of winning that regular season championship, but it's been anything but smooth for him. Been up and down. He's missed a race, I believe, and
last week he was having issues with his monitor.
His monitor cut out during a few races, so he was dealing with that. So it's been a tough season. He's not coming back next year to run for points, so this is kind of his last gasp, at least for the near future of getting a championship. So he's got to be the happiest one to see Senchek out of the race and Ryan Bird in the lead, because if Bird wins, he should be locked in against Senchek, Height, and George on points easily.
Well, certainly Ronnie Norman doing a good job here tonight, hanging on in fourth, but as you said, he's got potentially one cause caution, and you got to tiptoe now around this track. Make sure you don't cause that second one, because it could end up having to drop out of this race, which would not be something he'd want to do. Conover kind of in the same boat where he's already gotten up into the wall. He wants to make sure he doesn't cause a caution. I mean, guys, we're not even halfway through this race yet, so still so much more racing to go, and you got to be that careful.
If we can get a camera on Conover on like a close-up of possibly his wheels, look how much his rear rotors are glowing. There's no glow in those fronts, so I think that's the reason we're starting to see him kind of fall off here late in the runs. He's starting to just completely roast those rears. You can actually see some pretty heavy damage to the front end there of the 25 as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Man, look at those rotors.
Yeah, they are glowing. Kind of like what we were seeing from Ryan Bird earlier. Must be running a little bit more rear bias. And of course, that bias is adjustable from the cockpit, so these guys could be adjusting it almost every other lap or so, just depending on what they want, what kind of effect they want to get out of the car.
Yeah, he's got almost no glow in those front tires, but you can see the rear tires lighting up like a Christmas tree. So I think he's got way too much rear brake in this car. I think he definitely needs to get a little bit more heat in the front tires to run better in the long run, I believe.
Well, we go back and take a look at Ryan Bird and Jake Christenberry having a great run here in Martinsville. Sitting back here in second place. They're both kind of closing in on Bird right now.
Yeah, he just got a little friendly tap there from Blade saying, hey, get a move on. Let's get up there and get him. Christenberry, he's been close so many times this season, running in that top 5, just hasn't broken into that win column. Would definitely be a feel-good win for him to win out here at Martinsville and get that grandfather clock. I don't know if anyone would be generous enough to buy that trophy for these guys in the league, but that would be awesome. get an actual clock for winning a league race.
Man, that would be something. I'm sure.
Just buy a watch from Walmart for $5. That'll work.
Yeah, that's more the NORA style.
Yeah.
Perhaps a photograph of a really nice grandfather clock would be appropriate.
Yeah, we used to have trophies for the champion, and past few years we haven't had the actual physical trophy be able to be bought.
I think 2 years ago was the last year that we did trophies. I know Brian Powell actually made the trophies that year. And the year before that, I went out of my own pocket. I bought trophies.
Pass here for second place. Yes, sir.
And I actually have one of those here beside me.
Certainly, trophies do make it special here. These guys are racing it out hard for second place. Timmons alongside of Christenberry.
Man, Christenberry can just get off the corner so well. He's got the throttle control down to an art off this corner. But now you can see he's going to let the one by here. Going to tuck in behind him. Blade was a little bit quicker in the early part of the race, and now you can see he's getting that groove back. Now he's going to go up and chase Ryan Bird down. Kristen Berry probably going to follow him, honestly, because he was catching Bird before Timmons got by him, so he's going to stay right with him. And a snazzy looking paint scheme, by the way. That white, black, and purple really stands out. Ronnie Norman in fourth there, having a little bit of a good run here. He's starting to catch up ever so slightly.
Yeah, Norman, again, just putting in the laps, trying to maintain these tires and get it to the end of this cycle. We'll see whether Norman can close in with his tire conservation strategy. That was what got him in second place last night. But then you've got this guy, Josh Conover, who's looks like he's bashed every corner on the front of that machine, but it still goes strong.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks like Josh has had everything but the lottery.
Matthew George quite a ways back, a couple of lap cars in between. Matthew George, of course, still in this championship playoffs, hoping that everyone else in front of him wrecks out.
Yeah, and he's been with the league since season 1. I mean, he's got over 200 starts, and not many people have over 200 starts. I mean, Conover obviously has the most starts in the league, but Matthew George and yourself, Chad, are right there behind him as getting the most starts.
Yeah, I believe Matt and I were at 195 and 196. It was only a couple races that separated us.
Yeah, so George has been here a long time, and it's good to see him in the Final 8. You know, there was a year that we thought he was going to win a championship, possibly could have. He finished second in the championship in the Xfinity Series 3 years ago, or well, I guess it's the Grand National Series. So he's got second in his championship run, but never was able to punch that ticket to get that trophy. But he's definitely been improving over the seasons. And I think this is probably one of his best seasons without a doubt. He won earlier in the year and has been consistently top 10 almost every race.
Yeah, absolutely. Matthew George, one of those drivers who has basically arrived on the scene at the end of each race and just shown that he deserves to be in it. He's Mr. Consistency, getting into the top 10 and pretty much into the top 5 most races, but not really consistently in the top 3 like you can say for certain other drivers such as Ryan Bird and Ronnie Norman, other drivers, Dustin Kleba, Vincent Arthur, Josh Conover. These guys have been in the top 5 in a stacked field. I mean, we're talking about, and it's hard to get into 5th or 6th or something like that. Or you see Blade Timmons, by the way, getting into the wall a little bit continually. But it's difficult to get into the top 5. But then you look at these drivers like Arthur and Kleba. Kleba going out there winning 2 races in a row. In this league, that is just, it's unheard of. But the talent level is just incredible at the top end of this league, and George has had his absolute moments in the spotlight.
Vincent Arthur, I mean, went out and won, 4 out of 5 races at one point. So, I mean, it's hard to do, but it's not impossible. But with those two, it's, I mean, they're definitely the highest ranked, I would say, in this league, and everyone looks to try to beat them as much as they can, but they're definitely the motivators to push yourself to get better week in and week out, is just trying to pass them. I joked with Kleba after the truck race at Homestead. Whenever I took those tires, I actually passed him for the first time in my life, and I was happy, but then he ran back by me. I instantly was depressed again. So, but I said I got to pass Dustin Kleba, so check that one off of my bucket list.
Well, certainly it's been a fun one here this season, as we're seeing now Blade Timmons make his move. There goes Timmons. Oh,
Using the lap traffic, he moved him.
Yeah, he certainly used the lap traffic as an opportunity.
Now that is a class move. He did not mean to get into Bird, so he's going to say, you know what, take that back. I did not mean to get into you. Take the lead back.
I mean, I didn't expect that. I really thought he did just want to race him real hard going into the corner.
Now, Blade's not that type of guy. He's definitely one of the more respectful guys out here. Unless you get on his bad side, then he can make your life very bad, and he can run you very hard. But for the most part, he's very respectful behind the wheel.
Christian Berry putting the bumper to Hollinger.
Yeah, he's like, hey, get out of my way. I got to get up there and try to battle for this lead here for the stage, because we're coming to get the white flag in the stage here. I believe it's 156, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, Christian Berry in the wall.
Yeah, so white flag is in the air then. So let's see if Blade's able to set him up here through 3 and 4. He's going to try the outside here. Possibly a crossover.
He tried the outside, but it's just no doing. There, Ryan Berg going to be able to take the second stage of round number 36 here tonight for the NORA Cup Series 2023. Blade Timmons taking second place, Jake Christenberry in third, Ronnie Norman in fourth, and Cody Height in fifth. That's how they'll finish this stage. So with that, we're going to take another short break. We'll be right back on the other side. Don't go anywhere here on VirtualRacing.Network. Welcome back here on VirtualRacing.Network. We've got just enough time before we come back to the green. Chad Engel, what's the answer to that trivia question? Who has the most wins?
The most winningest driver at Martinsville with 15 wins, Richard Petty.
There you go.
Ah, man, that was my second guess.
That was a good one. Some of us forget about some of these older drivers and just how dominant they were back in the day and how many wins they took. I mean, 15 wins. Can you believe that?
That's a big number.
Certainly.
I don't think I've won 15 times in iRacing total, so you know.
Sure you have, Christian. Ryan Bird has to settle for third as Christenberry able to get around him. Into second place, Blade Timmons now up into the top spot.
Christian, you weren't too far behind with the Hendricks car for the second place. Second place at Martinsville is good old DW.
Well, I know he's the leader at Bristol for most wins, so. But a good battle happening here. Bird finally going to tuck in behind Christenberry, but you still see Norman just, you know, peeking his nose back there saying, hey, I'm still in this thing, in the top 5. Cody Height in a must-win. He's in the top 5. Matthew George in a must-win. He's in the top 10. All these guys doing what they need to do here at Martinsville. Cody Height going to have to probably
Everett
pull strategy.
Couch is around, and we've got a yellow flag.
Did he have help, though? We'll have to see. Oh, looking like it might be a self-spin here. He doesn't have anyone behind him. And I was talking to Chad earlier. I saw in practice he was having this issue. He would get into the corner and it would just loop around on him. He's been struggling with this all night here.
And as I said at the top of the broadcast, he got in there too hot and he locked up the left front and just brought the back end of the car around. I believe that is his second cause caution.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I don't know if that's his second, or if maybe because there's so little amount of drivers, maybe they will raise it to 3 possibly for these guys, but it looks like he is going to park it. I can't see if he's still sitting in the car. I don't think he is he?
Well, he's taking tires.
It's a little dark in there, so I can't see if he's still sitting in the car. I don't think he is.
He is taking tires.
Well, yeah, that's automatically checked whenever you get into the box, but I think he's out of it.
Yeah, no revving. So, well,
he had shut that car off and is parked.
Indeed. Well, Chad, you got more trivia for us?
I'm ready.
Let's see. Who is the oldest driver to win a NASCAR Cup Series race?
Oh boy.
Oldest driver. I think I know this one.
I think I do too, but I'm not sure.
By the way, Nick Geilis checking in saying that was 2.
So that was the second for Couts.
Yeah. Thanks, Nick. Appreciate it.
Nick might know this answer if he's listening along. Who the oldest driver to win in the NASCAR Cup Series is? I have 2 guesses, so
I'll give a little bit of a hint. He was a real bandit.
Well, there went my guesses.
Yeah, because I was going to guess somebody different.
Well, he had to have driven the Skull Bandit car.
Yeah, the Skull Bandit
guessing
car.
is what he means by he was a real bandit. For the life of me, I can't remember who drove those cars.
I do. He's pretty infamous in that car. When I say the name, you'll just be like, "Oh my gosh."
I know you will. I know I will.
See, this is my era, Christian. This is You're talking early 90s, late 80s, mid 90s.
Yeah, my era is Dale Jr. Like, before Dale Jr., I don't know anything.
Come on, I remember watching that inaugural Indianapolis race. That was 3.
I watched it on YouTube when I was 24, so... Anyways, we're back on the green here. Blade Timmons with a great launch there. And Norman now going to slide in front of Bird.
Yeah, Norman up into third. Bird fighting him hard, as you see, I believe, Conover in the wall again back there. But Norman
He was glued to it.
side by side with Bird as we complete another lap. Oh! And it looks like Harper gets turned by Conover. It does
I think
not
that was
bring out a
netcode,
caution.
possibly. Because obviously Conover's not going to intentionally turn down and door Harper. So it was either netcode or he got loose. We'll have to back it up just a little bit here. Maybe Harper even got loose and came up into him. Here we go. Going into 3 and 4 here. Now we'll see it. Yep, netcode.
Yeah, Harper was up next to him to begin with. Looks like they got a little... It's just both of the drivers, kind of one of those racing deals. They were just a little too close, both of them.
Yeah, he's going to get a meatball, though. He broke one of the toe links, and he's going to have to go in, get it repaired, and come back out.
Wow.
That is unfortunate for Harper.
Difficult night for him. Zach Hollinger also in to the pits. So Blade Timmons continuing around. Out in front of this one, and I think he
we
wants...
got a lot of smoke in pit road.
Yeah. Not sure. Justin Moody, it says, had an incident. Let's see if we can track this one down. I don't know if he's the cause of this smoke, but we'll find out here.
I think that would be a yes.
There's quite a lot of smoke.
Well, he's going to smoke the tires right here and produce more smoke. So there it is. Yep. No caution, though. That's a lucky break.
Well, and
Don't get a cause caution.
our leader coming around right now.
Did you see him wiggle there?
He really did. Blade, severe wiggle. Jake Christenberry holding on to second at this point. Ryan Bird says, hey, haven't we been playing this game before? Bird looking for a way by. Perhaps he'll stick his beak in there before too long.
You know, my favorite thing that happened this season was your interview with Bird, and he literally had to stop and mute his mic and was laughing at the puns that you were giving to him. And in the interview, he was like, oh, these Bird puns are taking me out. That was great.
We like to have fun here in the booth for sure. It's always good when everybody's a good sport about these things, but Bird...
There's been some great moments, hasn't there? I mean, the gnome controlling the camera on the backstretch was a great moment. Oh, man, that was...
Well, honestly, Bird and the whole Late Apex team have just been an amazing story to happen here in NORA. I mean, they came in like a flash in the middle of the season to see Moody getting up there in the wall again.
I just got the answer for the trivia question from a friend in Discord. Messaged me.
Interesting. But Bird absolutely getting in there and snagging a couple of victories. Here you see Christenberry side by side with the lap car. Hollinger.
Yeah, it looks like Guylis is going to get a point here for this trivia question. He's going to join Vincent in getting one correct.
Oh,
he's
there
the one
it
that
is.
messaged me. But yeah, there's still contact between these two, man.
If I was Hollinger, you're 6 laps down, just let him by.
Yeah.
Don't hold him up.
I've been racing with Hollinger for a long time. That's not how he's going to do it. He's going to run you like he's on the lead lap every single lap.
Well, when you got that Wood Brothers 21 machine, A lot of pride behind that car.
Throwing it back to what looks to be like a Jeff Burton throwback. Reminds me of the old Exide batteries car.
Oh, man. Like I said, now you're talking my era for sure.
Yeah, Harrison Burton actually ran that this year, I believe, at Darlington for a throwback.
Bobby Labonte in the Interstate. Terry Labonte out there with the
Kellogg's,
with the
With
Kellogg's.
Kellogg's.
Oh, those were the days.
Mark Martin with Viagra.
That was a little later. When I started watching,
Valvoline.
he was in the Valvoline car.
Yeah.
Well, Bird into second place, and Kristen Berry were side by side there. Now it's Bird takes over that second spot, and absolutely that Valvoline Mark Martin paint scheme. A lot of good race wins and seasons in that machine. Mark Martin never winning the NASCAR championship, surprisingly.
Yeah, you would think he would be up there on the oldest driver in NASCAR Cup Series.
He
but
just looked old. That's the thing. He wasn't that old. He just looked old.
Well, I think he was 55 when he won his final race, if I'm not mistaken.
Is that right?
I think so. Yeah, he won a race in the 5 car for Hendrick back in 2009, I believe.
Well, how about this? Josh Conover, Ronnie Norman, 4th and 5th place here in this race. Still working underneath Zach Hollinger, but Norman closing in on Conover. Norman possibly going to try to make a move on his flatline teammate here for the position. You got Matthew George stacked up right there. Cody Height still in this frame as well. So all these 4 cars still right there together, could be fighting for position.
Yeah, if I'm Norman right now, I'm not going to force anything on his teammate there of Conover. I'm in a good position. You know, if I'm in his shoes, I'm just going to say a top 10 is definitely what I need to get, and he's in that type of position now. So while you're going to want to make moves, it's safer if you don't.
Ooh, big wiggle it up. Hollinger.
Big wiggle out of Norman there. And out of George.
Well, I did just... apparently, Josh is not too busy to respond to our broadcast talk Discord while he's racing, so I did...
I told you, he's multi-talented, man.
Oh, man. And he's got MLB going at the same time in there. Unfortunately, no Phillies to watch, but
Hey, now.
He corrected himself.
I said unfortunately. I'm saying fortunately because we get to he only has 2 things or 3 things to do instead of 4 things to do inside that cockpit, but it's probably also texting somebody.
I'm sure my phone's going to go off here.
Ronnie Norman having the type of championship race that he needs. This is the sort of track, guys, where as we're coming up to 2/3 of the way done, this is the sort of track where you could crash out early, take on severe damage here. You could be racing hard, next thing you know, you get punted into the wall and take on, 30, 40-minute damage repair. It is definitely possible at a track like this, and that would be absolutely catastrophic to a couple of these drivers who need the win or just kind of needed to secure the points. And Ronnie staying out of trouble as much as he can, does have the 1 cause caution, but right now he's sitting comfortably in that 5th spot. And he will transfer if he can just stay there. Matthew George just behind. He's doing everything that he can here tonight to try to get up there, but he's going to need a win to get in. And as soon as we get into this 3rd part of this race, he is going to need to start focusing his sights on getting up there and taking this lead and taking the win. It's not something that we've seen from Matthew George, but tonight's a little different. It's full moon. It's all on the line. You got to go for that race win. Cody Height, same thing. He's got to get up there and get that race win. I wonder if we're going to try to see some alternate strategy. This is the type of track where maybe 2 tires is possible at some point, given when the various yellows come out. So we'll have to see if that gamble would pay off, or if he can possibly stay out there long enough that he can make whatever strategy he's on work out. But Cody needs something. Needs some kind of miracle to get up there 6 more positions and take over the lead of this race.
Yeah, if Nick or Josh are watching, if you can let us know what the fuel is going to be looking like. If these guys need to make a green flag stop, it's going to be all about when you make that green flag stop. So if one of those can chime in and let us know exactly when that's going to happen. But I also was given some information that I was correct on Mark Martin's final win. It was in 2009 at the Sylvania 300. So, and he was 50 at the time.
I think Brian Bird just touched the wall. But 50 years old, that's that is shocking stuff. I love it when the older guys go out there and win and just show, hey, it is not exclusively a young man's sport.
Yeah, Harvick's, getting up there, and he hasn't gotten a win this season. But I think, honestly, next week at Phoenix, I think he's going to be someone that you got to watch out for. He's always been good there, and it would be a feel-good win to see Kevin Harvick win just one last time in his final race.
Definitely always interesting to see the drivers making their farewell tour. But like Dale Jr. has proven, it's always on the cards that they could always come back for a race or two, or if the right opportunity happens, they might come back. And sometimes these drivers, they walk away for a year, especially if they've been doing it for so long. They walk away for a year or two, they get that itch to come back, and they get the right opportunity. They say, sure, why not? We'll do it for a handful of races, or I'll do it for half a season or something.
You could actually see out of turn 2 and in turn 4 there's a 14 on the wall. This render of Martinsville was actually in the send-off year for Tony Stewart, so that's the reason that you see the 14 on the wall on the outside there. So that's an interesting little note there.
That is ironic. That would have made a good trivia point.
It would have.
Everett Couts here got bopped for a lane change on that restart, so had to come to the pits, then got DQ'd. Well, at least I led a few laps. Oh my goodness, that is some rough luck, Everett. Oh, heartbreak, my friend. Well, you had a good race going for sure. Appreciate you checking in and letting us know.
I just got word that the fuel window is open. The fuel window is 108 laps on fuel, so the window to make it to the end is open, so it's just a matter of who's going to pit and when they're going to pit. Well, I think staying out as long as possible is going to be the best call. Run it until it's dry.
Yeah, and then a shorter pit stop, pressure tires at the end, all good. Yeah. That's a good call.
Chad, you agree?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And honestly, their lap times are not that far. Oh, no! Kristen Berry.
Great save.
Wow. Oh. Unfortunately,
he's going to need a new pair of underwear next pit.
I hope he's wearing his brown fire suit, because it is full.
Oh, man, that was an incredible save. Probably best save of the race. Let's go back and watch this.
It'll be the next set of corners here at Martinsville, so come through 3 and 4. Watch these
right
hands.
On board. Watch this, yeah. Whew. What a save.
Beautiful save. A lot of throttle work there to get that save. If you heard that, he just lightly feathered that throttle. Got it to come back around. Then went up and touched the wall again. So clearly he's ready to jump back into it. Go back to the live picture. Kristen Berry now back in 5th place, but already this is looking like one of his best races this season. Unfortunately, he was racing there just in front of Conover in 3rd spot.
Yeah, and Josh Conover just said, I'm going to need 4 tires, fuel, and a change of pants after that one. So he's multitasking. He's having a messenger send me the messages, though. these guys like to have fun. Even, you know, there's only 9 guys out there, or 10 guys still out there, so it's kind of calmed down. These guys are probably just chatty and having fun at the moment. And, you know, I mean, obviously, probably Matthew George and Cody Height not having fun. They're laser focused out there, but they're 11 seconds back, really struggling. They're going to need a miracle to get up there, but everyone else just kind of having fun with this. It's a Monday night instead of a Tuesday night, so everyone out here just enjoying their time and, you know, enjoying our trivia too, apparently. Which I don't know if we'll get another caution, so we might need to just give the answer now under green to that last trivia question.
I think we can. Nick Geilis already guessed it.
Yeah.
So
I think he got it right, but I'm not 100% sure. Chad will have to make us aware of the correct answer.
Looking for the question again.
Oh, my
So the oldest driver to win a NASCAR Cup Series race is the Skull Bandit driver of Harry Gant.
there you go.
Yeah, I couldn't think of his name. Isn't he the guy that always wanted to run the outside of the track? Wanted to run up the wall, yeah.
He knocked down the wall before he even...
Well, those old cars could actually knock down the wall. These cars just bounce off of it.
You know, I was thinking about that the other day. I miss the days where you see the cars that have the whole front clip cut off, just running.
Yeah.
I mean, Dale Earnhardt flipped his car and kept racing. And these cars, you can barely tap the wall and then your race is over.
Prima donnas.
Yep.
Actually, Ryan Bird going up there.
Yeah, he just got into the wall.
We're talking about that. These things, I mean, now that I see that, boy, these things are built like tanks. He's able to scrape that wall and keep on trucking. Now, certainly the cars are a lot safer than they ever were before. And just the fact that we've had the serious incidents that we've had recently and no repercussions from that. I think, fortunately, the sport is a much safer sport. And then, obviously, you know, I mean, I remember when the Hans device was introduced back in the day, and now to have your helmet tethered is so commonplace that it's like we forget that wasn't even a thing. I mean, even back in the day, of course, the thing that took Dale Earnhardt, fortunately, may he rest in peace, is the fact that he had that open face helmet, which used to be a thing back in the day, which is just, it's unheard of. Who would even think of an open face helmet in a race car? But it used to be a thing.
Yeah, they actually have an option in iRacing now that you can set what type of helmet you want and what kind of sound you get, because you can set it to a closed helmet, you can set it to an open faced helmet. There's different things that you can set the sound of your car to, which is absolutely incredible. I never thought that iRacing would be able to bring something like that in, but if you have that closed face helmet, you can't really hear the car as good as you normally can. So I use the open face in iRacing, so because you get to hear the tires and the wind.
Does it show like your face as an open face? Does it actually show as an open face, or is it just?
I don't think so.
Okay.
It's just the simulation of the sound, but I definitely understand why a lot of drivers wanted to use it, because you can hear the tires better, you can hear the car, you can hear the wind even a little bit better. And Earnhardt, you know how he was. He could see the wind and hear the wind, and that was how he made his 7 championships work for him.
Absolutely.
So that's why he always wanted to wear that, so that he could hear the car better.
Well, and like for the 87s, that would be a blast to be able to have the open face helmet.
I think they actually do wear the open face helmet in those cars.
Oh, that would be too cool. Well, here's Blade Timmons working under Zach Hollinger at the moment. Lap car.
Oh, Kulikowski.
We need to get a good shot on that Kulikowski machine. We haven't taken a look at that paint scheme. That's a beauty. Red, white, and blue for Brawny. Looking like a 4th of July paint scheme there for Brawny.
Yeah, I can't believe Ronnie didn't get this as a sponsor, because he could be the Brawny Ronnie,
He is Brawny.
Yeah. getting somewhat close to that 20 to go. You know, give the shout out to the best painters in iRacing. You know.
Absolutely. Well, we're nowhere near the 20 to go, but we figure might as well start early.
Sport track, it's going to come quicker than you think.
Let's go around and take a look at everybody's paint schemes while we got the chance. This is Cody Height. Racing
And build
over
submarines.
Harper Motorsports, absolutely.
Chad, you ever thought about building a submarine?
Can't say that I have, but if I attempted to build a submarine, it'd probably end up like the Titan submersible.
All right.
Good to know. Well, I'm sure if you go to Cody's sponsor's website there, you'll probably build a better submarine, at least.
Yeah, just, you know, don't use a PlayStation 2 controller to control it.
Well, let's get it right. It was an Xbox controller.
Even worse.
Hey.
Hey, here's a Gainbridge scheme. Gainbridge coming into NASCAR this year on, I believe, Spire Motorsports. They're pretty big in IndyCar.
Corey LaJoy.
Yeah. So really cool to see them coming into the sport full time for Corey LaJoy and I believe, I forget who else is driving for the 77 next year. I think it's Zane Smith, I believe.
Yeah, I believe Ty Dillon's out of a job.
Yeah, Ty Dillon out of a job.
Question
Crazy.
is, do you know what Gainbridge actually is?
Is it a college?
It is not a
I don't
college.
You got me.
It's financial software.
Really?
Interesting.
I know. You'd think they would maybe just like put a little tagline. If they got plenty of room, just put financial software on the bottom of it. People would be like, "Oh, okay."
Oh,
maybe.
so that's what that is. I still don't know what it is, but yeah.
Or they could like run a commercial during the race that you would like pick up on that. But hey, whatever's working and however they're doing all this sponsorship, it's great. Sponsorship's what makes it all go around, and we can afford to go out there and play with these really expensive toys.
This one is interesting.
Oh yeah, absolutely interesting. Now, is this a real life scheme?
No, I think there is an issue with his trading paints. And he didn't get the right scheme to load, so he just threw one on last minute here.
Oh, okay.
I think. I don't know, because that's the iRacing number. So I don't know if he forgot to put on a custom number or what that is, but that's just a sim stamp number there. Nick might be able to answer it. He's in the chat with them.
Could be my trading paints.
It very well could be. We have no idea. Because trading paints just absolutely hates you, and always has.
I mean, I don't even know what to say. It gets worse and worse.
It does. It's getting worse for everybody. We've heard a lot of people giving some feedback about trading paints not working for them. A lot of people in the race actually had that Vince was in last week had the wrong number on his scheme, but he had the right number. So you see the scheme's trying to reload here. But
Yeah.
Yeah, like for the life of me, last week I couldn't get my
That's
scheme
reloaded.
to show up on my end, but it was showing up on your end, Trevor.
Yeah. Again, I have no idea. Sometimes it works better than other people. I have no idea.
Oh, okay, I was Blade's car is correct. So
Yep.
just a little issue on their part there. Tim Harper, first one to make it to pit road, unless he is parking it.
Yeah, I think this is parked, and I want to say that he blew his engine because I heard a blown engine, and he's the only one that's showing in the pits right now. So, back over
That's
here though,
unfortunate.
Ronnie Norman getting by Jake Christenberry, now up into that 4th spot. So Christenberry.
Oh, there's a good paint scheme.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just going to take a look at that. Beautiful FanDuel paint scheme on this machine. Do you know who painted that paint scheme?
I don't know. Chad, do you know? I think Chad did.
I don't have an artistic bone in my body.
I like
Yeah,
how it
I-
works the pink into there as well.
Yeah, Ronnie requested something with pink, and I was like, well, I got something new for you, and gave that to him for the Breast Cancer Awareness Month. But now that it's going to end here in 2 days, he's going to have to go back to the original FanDuel car for one last time and more than likely it's going to be for a championship. So really proud to see Snyder Graphics going for a championship this year.
I think that is exciting, and that'll certainly be part of it. As we know, getting the right wrap on the car can be worth an extra tenth of a second on the tracker. So Nick Geilis chiming in saying, fun fact, the open face had been outlawed at the time of Dale's death, but he was actually grandfathered in, and that is true. Those drivers, there were only a couple of them. I can't remember everybody, but a couple.
I want to say definitely Dale Sr. I think Dale Jr. was wearing an open face helmet at that time too.
He was.
Interesting. But
he learned it from his dad. Being able to hear the car is really important, so he used to wear it too. I think he even wore it at the 2001 Daytona race, if I'm not mistaken.
Interesting.
I don't think they made him switch to full face helmets till the following season.
Yeah, because I remember the Pepsi 400, him getting out, and I'm pretty sure it was an open face helmet. Because it was a baseball helmet at the time, because it was during the All-Star.
Yep. I actually have that die-cast sitting on the shelf behind me.
Hey, same here. Beautiful car. Trevor, you into die-cast collection?
Oh man, don't even get me started. Yeah.
Got some Indy cars?
I've got a couple of Indy cars. I've got actually was collecting a lot of Hot Wheels and Matchbox cars for a long time. But I do collect also Indy cars. I've got some NASCARs. So not that big of a collection on the bigger sizes. Kind of waiting until I have the space to be able to display them. But at some point I'll be getting back into that as well. What have you guys got? What's kind of the prize of your collection?
Oh man. I guess I'll go first on that front. I actually ran a league before and got a trophy, and it ended up being a die-cast, and it's actually Ralph Earnhardt's old 64 Chevy.
Oh, wow.
And that is my prized die-cast.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Are we talking prized or most expensive?
Oh, boy.
I mean, if they're different, what would be your prized one? Well, give us both. What's your most prized and what's your most expensive?
Don't tell my wife this, but my most expensive is the Corey LaJoy Scooby-Doo, what was it, Corvette parts?
Oh, yep.
I paid like $240 for it.
Oh, wow.
My goodness.
Yes. But my most prize is I'm like, it's actually 4 of them. I'm like 1 or 2 shy of the collection, but I have a whole series of Kiss-themed cars and trucks from when the band Kiss sponsored.
That is too cool.
I got to change mine. I actually have Dale Jr.'s final race car from Homestead, the Exalta scheme. So I'm going to change it to that.
You know what? Actually, the other one of my most prized is when Dale Jr. was in his farewell tour. They did the Ride With Me program.
Oh, yep.
And I actually got my name on that car.
Hey, my name was on that too.
No kidding.
I never got the diecast though.
I had to pre-order the diecast as soon as they announced it, but if I remember correctly, my name was on it was either the B or the C post on the driver's side.
That's awesome. I love when NASCAR does those, things with sponsors to get your name onto an actual car. And I miss that. They need to do more of that.
Yeah, for sure.
Another driver coming into the pits. Here comes Ryan Bird locking up those rears. You can see glowing a lot there. Conover also in the pits here.
Almost looked like he clipped the barrels.
Yeah, I'm not
Almost,
sure.
yeah.
Conover may have done the same. So
These guys are aggressive getting into those pits.
yeah,
I think you're going to see Matthew George and Cody Height stay out as long as humanly possible here. And I think that's the best call for them. Honestly, they're in a must-win. They got to run this thing until they run out of fuel.
I thought Conover maybe had tagged the wall coming in, but
Yeah, with our rules here in NORA, you got to stay to the right of that dotted white line. So sometimes drivers get a little bit of a scrape into the wall or those barrels sometimes.
Guyless chiming in. I have the 2001 Dale Senior or Dale Junior All-Star car.
Yeah, I think Chad also said he has it, and the same with me. I think every Dale Jr. fan has to have that car. If you don't, you're not a Junior fan.
Well, look at this. Conover going around Bird as he gets stacked up behind Christenberry.
You can see Matthew George already into the pits. He locked him up going in there, but now Conover trying to get underneath Christenberry.
Look who took over the lead, Stormin Norman.
Absolutely. He was in the lead for a moment. Now he, Timmons, George, and Height into the pits as Conover racing side by side with Bird. They're going to go 3 wide, and Conover gets tagged and into the inside wall. Bird able to take that position from Christenberry, and that was just incidental contact, but they tried to split Christenberry, and I doubt that either one knew that the other was making that move.
Yeah, that was a wild move there. I'm glad everyone made it out of that one. As you see, Norman gonna rejoin here. Looks like in 4th position. Timmons still out there in the lead with a commanding lead. About 6 seconds.
Norman now underneath Christenberry.
Whoa. Man.
Christenberry 2 for 2 on the saves tonight.
He's quickly running out of
it.
He's running out of lives.
He's got to have a horseshoe in the car with him.
For sure. Oh, here comes Conover making that move down to the low side. He's going to be able to make it stick. Conover into 4th spot. And there's Norman. He doesn't want to cause a caution. That would be the end of his night. He keeps it going, but how much damage is on that machine and what happened? Significant damage to the left front.
Yeah, that's just a product of coming back out with cold tires, getting onto the throttle a little too soon on a hot track. Gonna go around here.
Tries to go around.
Just gets in there too deep and
he touched the curb. Yeah.
Tried to go around Moody there, but...
And he's kind of lucky because that used to be grass down there on the bottom, but now it's solid and you can drive out of it. But it used to be grass and it used to get stuck down there.
Well, that left front is
that's
all
a wall,
twisted
Ronnie.
up. Yeah. I don't even think they care anymore. I think it's gotten to the point where they just don't care that they're going up there and squeezing that wall. No problem. It's part of the racing surface.
Tell you what, unfortunate here, but Cody Height 1 lap down in a must-win situation. Looking like tonight's not going to be the night for him unless we have a caution here. Get him back on the lead lap. Maybe he'll have a shot, but if this thing stays green, Cody Height, unfortunately not going to make it to the Final 4. And he's had a great season. And next year, he's jumping teams, going to a new team. So maybe he'll have some better luck over there. Where he's going next year. I don't know if it's announced publicly, so I don't want to give it away on what team he's going to, but he will not be returning to Harper Motorsports.
Olsen?
No. Unfortunate, but no.
Yeah, Cody's had his moments. I mean, there are the moments where it's like Christenberry. He has these moments where he's up there running in the top 5, and you're thinking, this is going to be his night. He's going to get a podium. He's going to get potential win, and he gets caught up, people push him out of the way. It just never seems to be on the winning side of these battles that go on, and it's not his fault. A lot of times he gets, like I said, he gets pushed up the track, he gets pushed out of the way or caught up in an incident, and never know, you get caught up in some of these incidents, you do too much damage, and the next thing you know, your race is effectively over and you're running for 5th to 10th instead of 1st to 5th. But this guy, Ryan Bird, hanging on here in 2nd place. He is doing what he needs to do. to solidify himself, and with no send check in the field, he's looking pretty good right now. He's definitely just wants to survive to the end of this one, see the checkered flag, and be done with this one.
At this point, he is locked in, as well as Norman. As long as George and Height don't go out and win, it's going to be the final four of Kleba, Vincent Arthur, Norman, and Bird. As long as Height and George don't go out here and win this thing. So, what a fantastic final four for this year.
Absolutely.
If it stays the same.
Yeah, and assuming, I mean, I usually like to just wait for it to be official, obviously pending post-race review, which could always assign a penalty if there's a protest or something along those lines. But Blade Timmons, what a absolutely dynamic race, and I'm sure you guys know better than I do because we've only been following pretty much over in the truck series, but he's got the ability to do some short track racing like no others.
Yeah. He went out and won Richmond, I believe, in the Cup Series earlier.
Yes,
so
sir.
He's definitely a short track ringer out here. And, you know, I said last week that Conover and Vincent Arthur were going to be the two favorites coming in here. Obviously, Arthur not here. I think if Arthur was here, he would be putting up a fight with Timmons. He's always been really strong at Martinsville. Conover involved in an early accident. He's not quite able to be as fast as he normally is. I think Chad can agree that over the past few years, Conover has been great here, but he's still going to finish in the top three here. It looks like only 3 cars are going to finish on the lead lap, possibly, because Norman is right there in front of Blade. So we're going to interview everybody on the lead lap, and that's it.
Yeah, it does appear to be that way, but currently Blade, I mean, it's just a product of short track racing, long green flag stretches. Very fortunate that it has remained green flag for as much as it has here tonight. But 21 laps to go, about to hit that magic 20 to go. And Christian, this has been an amazing race. It is the decider to see who goes to Phoenix. But we all know this has just been a kind of a placeholder here, because Phoenix is where it's going to be at. Now 20 to go here, of course. 20 to go. Sponsored by and presented by Snyder Graphics. That's facebook.com/Snyder Graphics. The home of any livery that you need made. Any wrap, livery, paint job, whatever you call it. Like that one on Ronnie Norman's machine right now. That was designed by Snyder Graphics. And it could be one just like that, or let your mind run wild with your imagination as Hollinger puts it into the wall back there.
You know who just got a huge break was Ronnie Norman.
Ronnie Norman and Matthew George going to get the lucky dog.
Wow. Big breaks for those guys. And now this changes everything. As Blade Timmons, first one to get into the pits. Will Bird jump in? No, Bird does not fly into the pits for a refresh on those tires, but Conover does.
I see what you did there.
So,
oh man, whew. This is big for Bird, because that denies Cody Height from getting a lap back. This is a big call for him staying out. Now Cody, actually Cody Height's ahead of Bird, so he's probably still going to get his lap back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, everyone who's in a must-win is going to be on the lead lap here.
And I don't know about this move for Bird.
Hey Chad, what is the most famous quote in NASCAR? Do you know that? It's cautions breed cautions.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Larry McReynolds.
Yep. It's going to happen. I would say Boogity 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 is probably more iconic, but still, cautions breed cautions. Larry McReynolds, pretty iconic.
What do you guys think? We got time for one more trivia question?
We do.
I think we do, yeah.
All right. Last question of the night. Who holds the record for most wins in a single NASCAR season?
Oh, man. I think I know it. It has to be him, so I'm going to go with it.
We're probably thinking the same guy.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't want to believe it, but I would think so.
Yeah.
I'll give you guys a little hint. It's back when cheating, per se, wasn't really frowned upon.
Yep, that locks in my answer. Well, I think Guileless and Arthur are the ones battling for it, so. Oh.
I wonder if...
Wow. Guileless came up with a guess. I didn't think...
That's who I was thinking. So maybe you were thinking different. I mean, if we got to go way back, there's a couple of drivers that I would throw in there. If we're talking back in the 70s or the 80s, it might be a little different.
See, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking 70s and 80s.
I'll give you a hint. It's further back than that.
Oh, even further back. Okay.
It's the 60s.
60s. Okay.
All right. Well, under next caution, I'm gonna give my guess.
Well,
but that means Guileless is wrong, right? Or
I could. Whoa! I was gonna say we definitely had a lane change violation with the 53 car.
Oh.
Because he was behind Ronnie, then he came up behind. Who was that? Blade on the outside.
Well, now he went back down.
We're going green again. It looks single file out there. I don't even know what that's all about. But Ryan Bird
didn't even go into the corner. He was still slowing down, and Blade gave him a huge shot. I mean, that damaged the front bumper of the one.
Oh, we've got one around. Oh, that's the 45 of Kulikowski. And we've got the yellow back out.
Barney's waving it furiously now. He was having a nice lunch break. Yeah. And now he's waving a whole bunch now.
Yeah, he's upset now. Let's see if we can... There, you can see.
There, yeah. Oh, my goodness. I feel bad for him. He was having a beer, having a sandwich.
See, he's in that loop now. He doesn't even need to be waving it right now, but he is. He's just
It looks like he's just trying to cut a tree down or something with an axe. He's going at it.
Well, we got Conover, George, and Height all on pit road.
Last set of tires, maybe? Oh, no, we're eye-centered, maybe?
Oh, yeah.
Yep. He's like, help! I need a push. Somebody. Oh, he's gonna finally tow.
And he does tow it back. Well, the Brawny did not hold up in this case, unfortunately, and he's had to pit.
I've always been a bounty man myself.
Yeah, I was gonna say you need bounty out there to hold up.
He needs the quicker picker upper.
Oh goodness! All right, so Chad, what is the answer? Because I think Nick just gave his second guess, so he guessed the same one as I did now. So
with 27 wins in the 1967 season, goes to Richard Petty.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I would have said the same.
Hey, so me and Trevor tied tonight. Woo!
No, I give that. I'll give you that one, Christian. I recluse myself from this battle.
Oh, okay.
Guileless.
Well, you looked up one of the answers, so.
I got Christian ahead at 3 points. Guileless already guessed, so I don't know that he gets a second. Does he get a second guess?
I don't know. Should we allow? I think we'll allow it. We'll give him a shout out.
Okay.
Expert in trivia.
Absolutely, Nick Guileless, expert in trivia. Also, Nightmare Motorsports, doing a bang-up job here in the NORA Cup
also made
Series.
that paint scheme for Conover that we've all loved tonight.
That is a beaut. Look at that thing.
That's absolutely fantastic work by Nick Guileless there.
Huh. I don't know about you guys, but I think we got time for one more easy question.
Yeah, this would be the tiebreaker.
This is for all the money. Yeah, this is between me and Guileless right here.
All right.
For all the money.
What was the original name of the NASCAR Cup Series?
Oh, boy. Nick, you better not look this up. Better not cheat.
Well, we are about to
man.
come back to green here, guys. So we have until the end of the race or the caution, whatever comes first.
Well, you got to remember, you got Conover, George, and Norman, and Height, all on fresh tires.
Fresh tires,
Bird on old tires,
still
too.
on those old tires from lap 257. So
Yeah.
here we go. Green flag in the air. We're going again at Martinsville. Racing into turn number 1. There's Ryan Bird holding it strong. Blade Timmons on his outside, but he won't be able to clear. Timmons going to stay in there. Ronnie Norman sideways. We've got multiple cars having issues. Matthew George into the wall hard.
Oh, man. Cody Height sent Norman into George. I mean, that's one way to take out your competitors for the championship.
That was just a desperation move on Height's part.
Oh, yeah. You're in a must-win. You're going to move the guy in front of you and hope that you can get in front, but Norman, unable to hold the bump, goes sideways and gets into George here. So here it is. He's going to brake late, get into him just ever so slightly, and Norman just gets sent. But, I mean, move Cody Height to third, but he's going to get probably the cause caution, and I don't know if that's his second or if that will be his first, but that either way, it's going to send him to the rear of the field. So it doesn't work out in the end for Cody Height here.
Poor Matthew George. Martinsville has not been kind to him.
Yeah, not intentional, I don't think, by Cody Height. I think he got surprised that Norman was braking that early.
I think so. Absolutely.
So this could be a racing incident. We'll have to see where or what Nick and the other admins decide on this one. But, I mean, I think Norman was slowing down early to try to let Matthew George by, because that would basically lock Norman and George in, because Norman has more points than Bird, I believe. So he was trying to get all three flatline guys to the playoffs. And this is what happens here. He brakes early to let George get a run, and then boom! That's a big hit. Reminds me of Brian Vickers' crash here at Martinsville a long time ago. And they are going to put that on Cody. He is to the rear of the field now once he gets that penalty.
So he's still sitting there, but he will cruise to the back. Everett Couts chiming in. Fun fact, Petty has only one DNQ in his career. It's an interesting tidbit. So Guyless is saying the Strictly Stock Series.
We'll give it to them. The original name of the NASCAR Cup Series was the Strictly Stock Division.
So
I wouldn't have known it, so Nick wins. But if he looked it up, I'm going to find out.
Strictly Stock. Well, obviously...
Send me your Google history, Nick.
There's no way that even the original cars were strictly stock. Like, there's no way they literally drove them off the showroom floor and straight out there to the racetrack. They did stuff to them.
Oh, yeah, they tore stuff out of them and, made them lighter.
The only thing I could see them doing back in the day was ripping the interior out, throwing a bucket seat in there, throwing a roll cage in.
Okay.
Well, also probably tuning some stuff in the engine, probably, as well.
Well, guys, this is it. 3 to go here. We got our green-white checkers.
Oh, man.
Who's it gonna be? Ronnie Norman sitting there in second place after recovering. Oh, he is right on Blade Timmons. This is gonna be it, folks. Buckle your seatbelts tight. We are ready to go for green-white checkers into turn number 1. Blade Timmons has the lead. Ronnie Norman and Ryan Bird fighting it out for second place. Oh, we've got Ryan Bird into the wall.
No caution. Oh, Conover gets around Norman.
Conover able to make that pass stick.
White flag.
White flag in the air from Barney the Flagman. Timmons holding on so far. Conover in second. Norman in third. Height still listed in fourth place, so not to the rear of the field. And
He
this is
passed
going to
everybody
be
that quick.
There you go,
Oh,
the
man.
checkered flag out. Blade Timmons, your victor here in Martinsville.
Christenberry crashes crossing the line there, but yeah, Cody, he started in the rear. He just passed that many cars
Wow.
on that last lap, so that is impressive. He did everything he could on that last restart, just unable to make it to the Final Four. You can see he's speeding through pits right now, not happy, and that's a tough break there. He saw the light, and saw the possibility of making it, and goes out there by getting into Norman, and Norman able to capitalize and finish third after that.
Well, an amazing finish here at Martinsville, and Blade Timmons, the absolute class of the show here tonight, taking that number 1 machine and doing something special with it, taking victory and giving a little preview to next season. But we're going to take a momentary timeout here while we get the final results up on the screen. And a fun fact, Blade Timmons won this race. Yes. Thank you very much, Everett Couts. We'll be right back here on VirtualRacing.Network. And welcome back here on VirtualRacing.Network. It was all Blade Timmons out there tonight. You saw it live here, an absolutely fantastic show from the number 1 car, who took stage victories and able to take the overall victory here tonight. Congratulations to him, an absolutely phenomenal race from the number 1 machine. Second place going to Josh Conover, and that means a lot for those owners' points. So congratulations to him surviving in that beautiful paint scheme there for Halloween. Awesome to see that out there. Ronnie Norman taking home third place, and that's fantastic news for him. He survives. He will go on to Phoenix and compete in the Championship 4. You'll be seeing that next week on Tuesday night, the regular night, at the same time, 8:25 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on VirtualRacing.Network. Cody Height taking fourth place. Unfortunately, although that's one of his best finishes of the season, it is not going to be good enough to get him into that Championship 4. Ryan Bird, however, has another top 5. Not as good as he was running earlier in the race, but that top 5 should be good enough to clear him and get him into that Championship 4. From what we understand, he is locked in. In sixth place, Jake Christenberry, another great finish for him, leading the 2 Prestige TRDs, including Justin Moody right behind there in 7th place. Matthew George finishes in 8th place. Adam Kulikowski in 9th. Zach Hollinger in 10th. Timmy Harper, difficult night, back in 11th place. Everett Couts finishes in 12th. Jacob Gladelich in 13th. Tom Senchek in 14th. Cameron Thompson in 15th. Jacob Malone in 16th place. Nick Eilis in 17th. And, of course, Tom Senchek, difficult night. And that, of course, ends his evening and his championship hopes for this season. But he had a string of good finishes. Just unfortunate how the cookie crumbles. So with that, I believe we get a chance to catch up with Ronnie Norman, who finished in 3rd place out there. And I think it's Christian. Yeah, you caught up with Ronnie Norman.
Yeah, down here with Ronnie Norman after a very long race. I'm sure he's a little bit winded here, and for good reason. Ronnie, you're going to Phoenix, my man. How's it feel?
It feels good to be done racing these 2 short tracks. My left arm is killing me after 200 laps at Dover last night. Followed up by 300 here tonight. Yeah, we're happy to be moving on. The long race, we're beat up. Cars definitely not reusable after this one. Definitely just happy to do what we needed to do to get to Phoenix. This is what we've been racing for all season, and now the time's finally here when you need to show up and get some good finishes, and we was able to tonight. Unfortunately, the cautions, the yellow cloth was flying heavily tonight, which we hate seeing it. Even as a league, we know we're better than that, and it's just unfortunate with some of the stuff that happened tonight. So even I had a caution tonight. I was racing on edge there for the last 200 and some laps because I knew if I caused one more, I was out, and then who knows what could have happened. But yeah, no, I had 2 more X's left there on that last restart. If I got 2 more X's, I would have had a drive-through penalty. So that's why I just let Josh go by. I didn't feel like getting ran over or something. I just let him have it. So happy with 3rd, happy moving on, and yeah, hopefully we go compete for a championship next week.
Yeah, you say you're glad you're done with the short tracks. You got 2 short tracks coming up next week. Some pretty long races, but tell us about that restart there late. You kind of go into I believe it was turn 3. You get contact from behind. Cody Height sends you into your teammate Matthew George. Was Cody saying that he was sorry for that one, or was he just giving it everything he had and thought maybe he could move you up the track there? What was the story about that one there?
No, just from where we were all at, he said he just missed his braking point. He wasn't able to see it, and so he claimed that one. Which Cody's not one to do that, but I know with the circumstances, with it being him needing to win and everybody else needing to win, but now he just straight up said he missed his braking point. Which like I said, I just dirt tracked it. Unfortunately, his teammate Matthew George was above me there coming through and just smacked him, and it really killed his race. And it's just not a whole lot I could have done there. I saved it as much as I could, but yeah, no. Other than that, it's a racing incident, and a lot of those happen tonight.
Yeah, of course, unofficial results have you going to Phoenix, but we just want to ask you here. You got Dustin Kleba, Vincent Arthur, and more than likely, after it's officially announced, I believe Ryan Bird is the other one. So how do you feel going into Phoenix, facing those guys for a possible championship here next week? What's your strategy?
I'm normally decent at Phoenix, but then again, me decent at Phoenix is not as good as a Kleba or a Vincent or probably a Bird on a good day. So we're gonna have to put some practice in this week and hopefully get this number 33 FanDuel Chevy up to par with everybody else going into the race. Last year when I ran for the Xfinity Championship and I made the top 4, I literally finished 4th place. So got a little sour taste for my mouth just knowing, because I felt like I could have done a little bit better. Being only 4 cars to run for it, and then you finish the last car out of everybody, it's just kind of like But so yeah, hopefully we can do some magic. Luckily, I'll have a race Sunday night to get some extra practice during the NORA Cup Series. So we'll just have to log as many laps as we can, and just hopefully with some tire saving strategy, who knows, long green flag runs. I mean, anything's possible these days. So it'll, I'm sure championship weekend's coming up, and it's about to be fun.
Well, we're looking forward to it. I know for a fact Trevor's looking forward to it. And yeah, I forgot about Icon, so you actually have 3 short track races next week. So that's going to be a little bit hard on the arms. Might want to take the truck race off to save yourself for the NORA Cup race. But before we let you go, anyone you want to give a shout out to for this podium finish?
Yeah, I just want to thank FanDuel for being on the car all year, and FanDuel. Oh man, I'm speechless. Well, not speechless, but I can't even think right now. FanDuel, NOS Energy Drink. Yeah, there we go. NOS Energy Drink. I want to thank Snyder Graphics for painting all my paint schemes for me. Really appreciate all the work he does. Thanks to VirtualRacing.Network for putting on these shows for us. I'm sure tonight was a long one. Hopefully it wasn't too boring. thanks to everybody that tunes in to watch these races. Brooke, everybody that supports me. I think it's Brooke. I think my girlfriend tuned in tonight for a couple laps. Yeah, no, just thanks to everybody. Josh putting on this league. And like I said, I've been running for him this year for my first year on the team, and feels good getting 2 flatline guys into the final 4. So I'm sure he's proud of that. And like I said, we'll just move on to Phoenix next week, and hopefully I can talk to you guys a couple more times these last 3 races here, and we'll see what we can put on a show.
All right, man. Again, congrats on the podium, and congrats on making it to the Final 4, and good luck next week.
Thank you, guys.
All right, that's third place, Ronnie Norman, 33. Next up, we got Josh Conover, second place, and I believe Chad, you caught up with the boss man over there, Josh Conover.
Yeah, I'm down here with the boss. Josh, how was the race tonight?
I don't want to talk about it.
A little salty, are we?
It was alright, but yeah, salty is an understatement. I truthfully didn't expect to get pole like I did, and then stage 1 went about as you would want it to, I guess, and then it kind of went downhill from there, and I still don't even fully know what even happened. So Blade winning is good, but now I'm out of the owners playoff too, so it's a bummer all around.
So what were you really struggling with the car tonight?
I guess it'd be a NASCAR problem, but NASCAR's poopy package with these cars, I was proved again tonight. I think stage 1 Blade was quicker than me, but you'd get within like that bubble and you just couldn't do anything, and then just trying to battle through traffic unless you were on like a different tire sequence or something like that. You really couldn't do much without driving in and moving them.
Yeah, really hated it for you guys. You like you said, you got pole. You were running up front most of the race.
Yeah, I can step in here, Chad, help you out. I've got done with Norman over here. Conover, he has some good interviews over here. So, Josh, you got Phoenix coming up. I know you're not in the playoffs anymore for the owners, but, I mean, what do you got going into next week? You're obviously going for a truck championship, so tell us about that and what you're feeling for next week there over in the truck series.
Shoot, I'm going to need some luck. You got a 2-time champ in Jones. Sable's been quick since he got here. I'm sure it's going to be one of those tracks where he's just unreal quick as soon as he unloads, and I think last time Rita ran for a title in trucks, he was spanking me up and down the track too. So I don't know. I had high hopes, and then obviously, like I said, we just got knocked out on this side, and next week looks to be even tougher as far as the truck goes. So I don't know. I need to either buckle down and just study or do something, or like I said, just hope for a miracle and maybe finally pull one of these things off.
Well, as a team owner, I'm sure you're absolutely thrilled right now. I mean, you got Ronnie Norman going for a championship and Vincent Arthur. So how's it feel being a team owner for those two going for a championship next week, man?
It's good, but at the same token, if history repeats itself, a couple years ago, we had Dalton Tucker and Matty George in the Grand National title race, so 50-50 odds, and I think Dalton was leading most of the race, then got, I think, it's trouble with a lap car or something, and then I think your guy Corey ended up taking it. So 50-50 odds are nice, but I was just talking to Cody Height about it too, because I was disappointed he didn't make it. But this series is the top series for a reason. This field is no joke. I mean, granted, obviously the cautions tonight and whatnot in the car count, obviously, because I made a big boo-boo on the schedule, but to win, I would say actually even finish top 3 at this point with the guys that we have in here is a win on its own right. So I don't know. We'll talk throughout the week and the next week, and hopefully one of them can pull it off. I don't care which one. I just want somebody from the team to bring it home for once.
Chad, I think I heard you key up. Do you have one more question for him there, or were you not?
I forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh man. All right. Well, anyone you want to give a shout out to real quick before we let you go here, Josh?
Well, you guys for the broadcast. I saw Chad was up with you, so hopefully the cautions weren't too bad, because Granted, it was less than when we were here in April, but still, obviously a lot of cautions get to be boring. So hopefully it wasn't too bad. Like I said, Blade for the win. Getting Peyton, who's normally in the seat, obviously couldn't make it because of my mess up with the schedule. So hopefully Peyton's good for Phoenix, and he gets to run for a title now, since I kind of screwed him out of Daytona getting him in the drivers' playoffs. But like I said, just everybody that showed up tonight too, thank you to them, because obviously, like I said, again, I messed up the schedule, and it wasn't a terrible field size considering it was a completely different night. So I don't know. Like I said, we'll prep for Phoenix and hopefully put on a good show and bring a lot of these guys back next year.
Yeah, tonight was a great broadcast. We had Chad, like you said, here, and it was a blast. And hopefully you go back and watch it and enjoy it. And hopefully you're able to win next week in the Truck Series and get that title, that elusive championship. I'm definitely pulling for you over everyone else. I know I'm not supposed to be biased, but 100% I'm on board with that 17 truck.
I mean, you got to think at some point a guy makes the championship every year. He's got to win one eventually, right?
Yeah, you can be 1 for 4.
Ask Denny Hamlin how that's going for him.
Well, I'd be 1 for 5 at that rate, Chris. I'm 0 for 4 right now.
Oh yeah. So yeah, 1 for 5, man. It's been a long time. I forget how many seasons there are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my averages aren't very good.
It can turn around, right, Chad?
You're right. Maybe you could sneak down to Christian Berry's car before they load it up on the hauler and take the horseshoe out of the car.
I need more than a horseshoe, Chad. 0 for 4. That's like 100 horseshoes.
All right, well, man, congrats tonight on getting the podium, 2nd place. I mean, not in the playoffs for the Cup, but still great run, great performance, way to rebound, and good luck next week, man.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
All right, Trevor, I think you caught up with the man of the hour in that number 1 car, Blade Timmons for JRC Sim Series, or Sim Team.
Yeah, well, he had pretty much what looked like a temporary paint scheme on there, but he didn't need it to look like $1 million, to drive like $1 million. And Blade, you were the star of the field out there tonight. Bang up job. Managed to bring that number 1 home in that same position. Congratulations on taking the victory here in the NORA Cup Series.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. Martinsville is my go-to track, man. I look forward to it every season. Thank Josh for giving me a shot to try to put that car in the title and put somebody else in the seat for it in Phoenix, because I daggum sure ain't gonna win a title at Phoenix. I can promise you that. So I'm just along for the ride next week, trying to do my best to try to get that truck and get that a championship. But as far as that Cup car at Phoenix, it just ain't gonna happen.
Well, we were talking about it. You seem to have these short tracks pretty well figured out. You took Richmond in the Truck Series, and here tonight you managed to take Martinsville. What is it about short track racing that you love so much?
That's just my bread and butter, man. It's something I love. I love the actual driving aspect of it, and I did it in real life. So I mean, it's something that is close to home. I mean, it's not like these 1.5 miles or it's kind of wide open, and you got to do this, that, and third. It takes a driving and patience to be able to manage a short track and perfect throttle control, especially in these cars, especially at Martinsville when it's just got a weird snappy loose, as y'all probably saw me make my mistake earlier. So, I mean, it's just, I don't know how to explain it, man. It's my bread and butter. Feels like every time I get to a short track, it's like home.
Well, and we watched everybody out there tonight either get sideways, get taken out, take someone else out, go up and hit the wall. But seems like that is where you're most comfortable. You're sliding sideways, you're hitting the wall, you're getting in real deep into these corners with other drivers and beating and banging. That's kind of short track racing.
Yeah, absolutely. I know I made one mistake tonight trying to get by Ryan to try to hopefully take the clean sweep tonight, but I know I went in real hard and I locked I think the left front up and hit him in the door, so I let him have the lead back. I don't race that way, so I wasn't going to knock him out of the lead and take that stage win, so went ahead and gave that back to him and just try to battle it out third stage.
Yeah, we did notice that, and it's great that you bring that up. A real sign of sportsmanship out there, and I just figured you were going for the race win. You were just pushing people out of the way. Kind of, I mean, that's another side of short track racing that NASCAR has seen over the years, but you didn't mean to do that. You gave the position back up, and turns out you didn't need it after all. You end up taking the victory and coming forward 5 spots from where you started. What a fantastic run for you tonight. Who would you like to thank for this victory?
Same every week, man. I'd like to thank y'all for being up there week in and week out, giving us something to watch back, and I'd like to thank Josh for putting on a great league that we get to run and enjoy, even though the frustration sometimes spike high in here. But I mean, we're all having fun and racing for a championship and an owner's championship. And I'd like to thank Josh again for letting me pilot this one car to put it in a championship chase for him.
Absolutely. Well, it's a pleasure, and thanks for the kind words. We, of course, love watching Blade Timmons out there on the racetrack. We'll look forward to seeing you out there next Monday night in the trucks. And in the meantime, I hope you have a great rest of your week thinking about this one. And is it right that you're coming back next season to do the Cup Series full-time?
I'll probably be doing both of them full-time, but it's not full-time as in I'll make every race. It's just I'm probably going to do a full-time Owners Championship, probably for Josh, try to do that for him for both Cup and trucks.
Well, that would be phenomenal to be able to see out there for both nights, the weeks that you can make it. But either way, we'll look forward to Monday night, and good luck Monday night.
Appreciate it, man. Y'all have a good one.
You too. So that is Blade Timmons, who drove the one tonight to victory. It's always a cool thing, guys, to see the one car go out there and either take pole position or take the race win. It's kind of it's a big thing to wear that number 1 on the side, or in football, basketball, anything, to get that number 1 on there means a lot. And Blade pulled it off tonight in a big way. I can just imagine how proud Josh is seeing that number 1 for JRC out there winning. Christian, final thoughts on tonight and what we got to look forward to Phoenix.
It was absolutely a blast out here. We made a race really exciting, I think, for these guys. Hopefully they absolutely enjoy the show. I was expecting to see like a Hail Melon situation from like Cody Height or something, going up there and just riding the wall at full throttle to try to win. I thought we'd see something crazy, but nothing too crazy there tonight. I mean, it was a full moon, and this was kind of one of the calmest races we've had in a while, so it was still caution fest, but that happens when it's a cutoff race and it's Martinsville, so that's to be expected. I can't wait for next week. All 3 races, I'll be there, and Chad gonna be racing for me next week in the truck series, so can't wait to see what he can do out there in the trucks.
Absolutely, should be an absolute blast. Chad, final word. What are we looking forward to next week in Phoenix?
Like Christian said, I'm looking forward to getting behind the wheel of a truck. Got some sponsorship lined up. Just became a brand ambassador for custom offset wheels and tires.
Ooh.
So hoping to pick up where I left off at the end of the season. Hopefully we end on a high note in the truck series, and hopefully we get some good finishes next week.
Well, awesome. We'll all look forward to watching along and seeing what that new paint scheme looks like. And in the meantime, congratulations on your great season, and best of luck on Monday night.
Thank you. And we hope to repeat the process for Tuesday night as well.
There you go, my friend. So with that, folks, we're going to close this one out. We do appreciate everybody joining us live over in YouTube. Hey, and by the way, congratulations, Nick Geilis, on being the Trivia King for tonight. You did it. Really appreciate it. And what's that?
He cheated. He cheated.
Oh, he did. Well, he still came up with the first answer. I mean, anybody could have done it. And by the way, also, yes, for those of you that noticed, this channel did hit a certain level of subscribers and watch hours, and as a result, our first ever super contribution, our thanks. The first ever one done by Everett Couts here. We appreciate it, man. Great race, going to be fun running for points soon. Well, Everett, appreciate it. And best of luck to you at Phoenix. And we'll look forward to so much more great racing from both of these NORA series. And, of course, Icon Cup Series will be our next broadcast on Sunday night. It'll be the championship night at Phoenix. It's our kickoff of 3 nights in Phoenix in a row to decide 3 different championships. Championship week, so to speak. So if you're not already a subscriber, punch that subscribe button and hit the like button, and we'll make sure to get this out there to plenty more viewers. Next week, we will be simulcasting. Tell all of your friends on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch simultaneously, all 3 races. So anybody can join it, whatever platform they choose. We appreciate you all joining in tonight. We'll see you again here next Sunday night. Till then, have a wonderful rest of your week, and happy Halloween to all of you. Bye-bye.